Good evening from the Roanoke Valley. We are at beautiful Kerr Stadium at Roanoke College in Salem, Virginia. It's time to crown a Division III men's soccer champion. It's a gorgeous day here, a little bit cloudy, but the sun's breaking through. Today's game features an experienced program in their fourth title game since 2015, looking for their second championship trophy. The other is enjoying their first trip past the round of 16, looking for their program's first national title. It's Amherst versus St. Olaf alongside Ira Thor. I'm Dave McHugh. Here's how they got here. Amherst is 17-2-4, getting past Washington and Lee last night in a battle they had to hold on. They'll take on St. Olaf. We'll take a look at Amherst in this one as they used some high-powered offense early on, a howitzer of a shot to go up 1-0. Then early to start the second half, they were able to get a second goal thanks to a little flick over the top, followed by another flick over the top by their rookie. That held on, though, as Washington Lee would come back to make it 2-2. And penalty kicks as out Amherst would get past and on to the championship game. St. Olaf quick fired early on. McCloskey with a goal in the first half to make it 1-0. Then McCloskey in the second half would make it 2-1. And they would go on to win 3-1 over Washington College as we're underway here for the championships. And ball immediately goes out of bounds. I think we're going to have a re-kick. A little false start there on all parties. Hey, congratulations to everyone. Amherst is 17-2-4 again, held on against Washington Lee in the semifinals. St. Olaf is 19-3-3 and got past Washington College. St. Olaf's in the white uniforms. They're going to be going left to right in this first half. Amherst is in the purple uniforms. They'll be going right to left in this first half. Ira, quick thoughts, keys to what we expect in this one today.
Well, for St. Olaf, they've scored 75 goals this year. Obviously, they have to be able to take Amherst's pressure. They got to be resilient in this one because they know the Mammoths take great pride in defending. They also must limit transitional moments, particularly for number 21, Mohamed Nuhu, who was able to show what he's able to do in transition, along with watching out for number 23, Oda Korgeye. Meanwhile, for Amherst, you know that they like to make teams uncomfortable, Dave. That is something they take pride to. They also morph into other teams' systems. The Ollies run a 3-5-2. Amherst is going to take great pride today in limiting that formation from being successful.
Take a look quickly at the Amherst lineup to start today. We'll go in numerical order as the ball played into the Amherst defensive end. In goal, it is Max Landa, number 1. You have Niall Murphy, Johnny Novak, Wyatt McCarthy, Sean Rapal, who got the penalty kick win, Micaiah Valdez-Bush, Mohamed Nuhu, Ben Clark-Eden, Ada Okageye, Flynn Hayden Ruffner, and Simon Kalinowskis. As now Amherst is on the attack early on, played extra one to the side, and now back into the middle, but St. Olaf weathers the storm. Is almost another presentation there of Oko Ogeye. And Amherst winning the battle in the middle. It's their pressure, and they got some fans who showed up for this title game. It's their pressure up front that will be so key in this one, not offensively, Ira, but more defensively when they don't have the ball. As that ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Amherst's throw.
And they got to be careful with that, though, because it was clear to all of us that Amherst got tired at the latter stages of the Washington Lee game. And, you know, Coach Serpone was honest with us in the pregame. He's like, if teams can weather our storm, and the storm being of how they play defensively, they can tire them out. And Olaf, with their incredible offense this year, certainly has the ability to tire out an Amherst squad.
St. Olaf averages 3 goals per contest and scored those 3 against Washington. Again, 2 of them from McCloskey.
And it's not new. They've been doing this for the last 3 years, averaging close to 3 goals per game. So this is not a one-year fluke.
Battle in the corner.
Of course, back-to-back Sweet 16s. This is the first time they've gotten to the semifinal, and, of course, their first ever national final. In fact, this is the first time that a team from the MIAC has been this far since 2005.
And let's take a look at the starting lineups for St. Olaf. Again, they're in the white uniforms. Same as the semifinals. Jordan Oberholzer and Clemente Akuch Puig, Victor Galma, Hakeem Morgan, Casey McCloskey, Aiden Hillis, Shea Bechtel, Robbie Buzakovic, Kasper Olseth, and Ben Beckman in goal is Peter Forseth, who's up at the top there. He's at 36. He normally wears 0, but something happened with the uniforms on the way here to Salem, and he's wearing 3-6 today for the Oles.
And good for the Oles to see number 9, Hakeem Morgan, out there. Of course, a member of the Costa Rican national team and the senior team, the U23 team. He left that semifinal game with an ankle injury, never returned, and there was questions whether he was going to be able to play today.
Play to the outside. Okogeye with the ball on the wing this time, and he is depossessed temporarily.
In fact,
by Hillis.
Talking to Coach Justin Oliver, we were watching Morgan warm up, and even 20 minutes before game time, it was still a game time decision whether Hakeem was going to be able to go.
Right.
We're going to see how long he can.
Well, teams have the capability of tossing it long down in the offensive third. We'll see that once again here for the Mammoths. The target was Rapal, but it didn't get to him. It settles down for Murphy. He'll play it to the outside. That's Clark Eden. He can't hold on to it. I think that's Clark Eden. Oh, nice save on the end line, but nope. Save went out of bounds. Correction, that was not Clark Eden. That was Hayton Ruffner. Of course, Hayton Ruffner had the absolute drill of a goal to put the Mammoths up 1-0 in that game against W&L. Quick note on St. Olaf, one of their key reserves, Zach Harvey Latham, will not play today. The midfielder senior out of Sydney, Australia. Picked up his 8th yellow card of the season in the semifinals. You get 6 in the regular season as we get a steal here. Long distance shot. Forseth dives and then picks it up. Picked up his 8th yellow card of the season. And had to sit out. We're 5 minutes into this one, already back and forth, and Amherst putting on the pressure.
It's the first time in the history of the program that the Ollies have ever faced Amherst or any representative from the NESCAC. They're certainly not used to the pressure that Amherst is able to apply, and that's certainly a strength of this Amherst team today. Until the Ollies are able to adjust to the pressure that Amherst is able to deploy, they're going to be playing a little bit back defensively, trying to make sure that there's no transitional moments.
Forseth, by the way, wearing the same uniform he was wearing on what day are we on? I've lost track. Friday, that's right. Championships have changed a little bit over the years. They now spread them out, and it's women on Thursday, Saturday this year. Men were Thursday, Saturday last year. There's a steal there. Men obviously Friday, Sunday this year. Oh, Okageye with a nice little move, but can't catch up to it. So far, though, the pressure coming from the Mammoths. Oles have not really gotten into the offensive third as of yet.
The Oles certainly want to keep an eye on the dangerous number 23, Ada Okorogeye. Now, what's interesting is they've had
nice defense,
7 goals by
attack.
7 different players in the NCAA tournament. Ada has not been one of them. In fact, Okorogeye has not scored in 13 games. His last time he scored was against Connecticut College when he had a brace. That was the last loss for Amherst. That came back on October 3rd. Since that game, yeah.
Flick on into the box, bouncing around. Forseth's going to go and chase it down.
Yeah, it's to the day. You're correct there, October 3rd on the road at Conn College. Since that loss, Dave, this Mammoth squad is 10-0-3 in their last 13 games. But 7 NCAA goals by 7 different players, showing how many different guys can beat you.
Here's how Amherst will hold on to St. Olaf with an attack here. Opportunity. Play through into the box. Shot landed with his chest. It's loose, but cannot take advantage. Landa comes up huge, just making himself as big as possible. The initial attack coming from Beckman. A great through ball to Puig.
And then Murphy with the opportunity late. Great through ball. Murphy had an opportunity for a touch, but
St. Olaf keeping up the
Puig,
pressure
I should say, had the opportunity there, and Landa coming up big by coming out, blocking that initial shot.
Shot in. Landa's in a little bit of trouble there as that was curling away from him. McCloskey had the chance at it. So now St. Olaf's got the pressure on. Couple of dandy opportunities. One with Landa came up huge. I'm sure we'll see it when things slow down here for a moment. So the ball's going to go out of bounds. What a moment for the Oles. Almost came up huge against Amherst early.
And wondering how long it was going to take for St. Olaf to finally apply some of that pressure. Washington and Lee kind of sat back for almost an entire half before they had any real chances in that game. Yeah, Puig, though, had multiple opportunities there, and Landa doing a tremendous job, like you said, Dave, making himself big, and that was a golden opportunity right there in the middle of the goal.
That's where you use any part of your body you need to. Played in front, Forsyth will pick that off.
Middle of the goal was a huge target there. They are fortunate to still be 0-0. You know, Amherst, a team that prides itself on defending, they are capable of scoring. St. Olaf, through their path to get to this national championship, 5 NCAA wins. They have scored 17 NCAA goals in this 5-game span.
A lot of pulling and shoving in the middle. Whistle almost got blown, giving the advantage to the Oles. Shot blocked out front, and it's going to be on a second foul. If anything, Murphy earned that one 3-4 times in the previous 30 yards. Take a look at the takeout here. I mean, yeah, he's pulling them down.
And they could have called that maybe 5-10 yards before.
Could have called it the center circle. Could have had a couple opportunities.
Good job by the officials, though.
And they're in conversation with him about it.
Say good job by the officials, Dave, allowing them to continue the advantage there. But the Oles have 17 NCAA goals by 11 different players. Only 4 guys have had at least 2 goals in this great run.
That's a big curl there. A little too high, trying to go over the wall in a dangerous position. That was Galma trying to take that rip, and that's maybe a little close for that kind of shot. I don't know. I'm sure Galma would love to get it back. He leads the team. 16 goals, 10 assists, 42 points coming into this one, though Morgan's taking the most shots at 78.
Well, Galma, a first-team All-American, a player that head coach Justin Oliver believes potentially is the best player in all of NCAA Division III. But what's interesting is Galma hasn't been able to have a run-of-play goal in this NCAA run. He's had 2 goals in the tournament. Both are PKs, and both of them came in that 4-3 barn burner against Wisconsin Eau Claire.
Nice job of McCloskey to get that ball. Now the Oles will try and build up. Northfield, Minnesota-based St. Olaf College, same town as Carleton. Both teams ranked 11 and 12, respectively, coming into this tournament. Nice steal on the Amherst side. Now trying to use his speed is Kalinauskas. And he gets tied up in his own feet, and the Oles take it back. They'll try and counter quickly, trying to hit Oberholzer into the corner. He's got Nuyu, interesting enough, with him alongside in the defensive corner, and he'll go out for the goal kick. So Nuyu going all the way back defensively in that scenario. They're using him maybe a little bit more defensively than we're accustomed.
And that's a big part of Amherst's success, is their willingness of their studs up top to be able to come back and defend.
So Landa will have the goal kick here. By the way, Landa came into the weekend. He's now allowed a total of 14 goals. He had no 6-0 goal against average coming in. That has gone slightly up, obviously. But he has come up big already in this one with a brilliant body save on a breakaway by Puig. So a near miss there by St. Olaf. And now things have settled down a little bit. Both teams kind of not in control, but starting to put pressure on the respective defenses. McCloskey tries to cross it. It's brilliantly blocked by Valdez Bush, who then tries to clear it but cannot. And McCloskey gets it back. McCloskey wearing those athletic glasses.
Rec specs.
Rec specs. I didn't know if anybody knows the official term. I jokingly in the semifinals referred to him as a superhero because I was thinking of Cyclops.
Well, he was a superhero.
He
scored both goals.
And threw the ball in that ended up being the third.
And he has been the leading scorer for the Olies through this entire run. 3 goals so far in the NCAAs, including 2 in the national semis.
Those 3.
He's been fantastic.
Oh, he got absolutely upended there on a late tackle by Kalinowskis. I was going to say McCloskey, by the way, came into the tournament with 4 goals. He's picked up 3 more.
Talking about a
in
big
5
moment
games.
Player, and Coach Oliver was saying that those actually are prescription glasses. He broke them
Broke
in
another
the Sweet
pair,
16, and it was tough finding a new one.
We thought it was odd he was wearing them at night. The sun has broken out here in the Roanoke Valley, so he is the smart one right now. This one from a dangerous position, but Amherst is only using 1 on the wall. We'll see what happens here. A little curl to it, going back post. Landa's got to play that. He almost underran that one for a second, but a good pickup. Now he's going to try and counter quickly. Interesting enough, we thought the field was somewhat dry. Hillis just kind of slipped on his own.
Well, you and I walked it beforehand. It was raining all day yesterday,
all
periodically. Yeah, it probably didn't stop until about 5, 6 in the morning, but it's dried out nicely. 63 degrees, a perfect day for a national final.
Here come the Olies again. Oberholzer with it. He had the assist on the 3rd goal on Friday.
And he was also the target a moment ago on that send-in by Goma.
Bechtel gets fouled from behind by Novak. Amherst will foul often, and they don't like when they're called for it.
And the official's been very patient so far.
A little extracurricular there from Novak. And now we're going to get a stoppage. Something's wrong with Rapal. He actually came over to the official and said something, and he will exit. And into the game for the first time this weekend is Ignacio Cubeto, who we expected to see in the semis and surprisingly did not. We hear he's dealing with a bit of a stomach bug, but it's good to see him out there now. We'll see how effective is. The Davie, Florida junior midfielder has 2 goals and a co-team high 5 assists in now 19 games. Got a fascinating tidbit about him we'll talk about later. And of course, he's got some D3 history on his side.
And of course, he was the most valuable player for them during that 2021 run.
This one curled in top of the 6, and Amherst gets ahead to it. And the second one is Oko Ageye tries to clear it out and then headed back in, and forcing Landa to make a play was McCloskey once again. Yeah, Cubeto goes down in history as the last Division III player to score a golden goal before the timeout rules were changed. As we get a foul here on the Olies at midfield.
Now we play silver goal.
That's how he became the MVP of that event. We'll see how he plays. Good to see him out there.
Of course, we had 1 overtime so far in this tournament in the semifinal between Washington, Lee, and Amherst. And no more golden goal. You have to play the full 20-minute overtime session. Takes away a lot of the drama.
Well, still adds a little. Should someone score? Can you equalize? Almost saw it last night. Friday night. Still used to the back-to-backs. W&L with a ferocious comeback in the last 20 minutes. This one served over the top by Novak. Ferocious comeback to score 2 goals. One of them, did he shoot it or was he placing it in? No one will know. He finds the back of the net, and then another one where they just fired it in on the Amherst defense, and they had it ping-pong around and then into the goal. So it was 2-2, and then in the first OT period, W&L nearly found the back of the net.
We have a matchup today, a battle of Justins. Justin Oliver, the head coach for St. Olaf, trying to become the second consecutive first-year head coach to win a national title. Of course, University of Chicago with the championship last year. Justin Serpone in his 16th season.
Julianne Sitchin didn't do too bad for herself. Ended up becoming the head coach of the Denver women's program.
Yeah, she was able to take a national title and run.
Out of bounds. It'll be back to the Oles.
But somebody named Justin is going to have a national championship come back to their campus today.
Again, Amherst in their 4th national championship game since 2015. They seem to alternate years, though 2017 it didn't work out for them. They are 1-2 in the previous 3. They won the one in 2015 against Loras 2-1. Again, weren't here in 2017. 2019 they lost to NESCAC rival 2-0, Tufts 2-0. And then 2 years ago, lost on PKs. That is considered a loss in the championship game. It was a 1-1 game, but they lost 4-1 in the PKs to Conn College.
The only game of the year where you can lose in PKs and actually have it be a loss rather than a tie.
Opportunity still building here for the Mammoths. Nice steal by McCloskey, but it leaves it open. And so the Mammoths hold on to it. Novak with it far side. Going up against Hillis. Gets around Hillis. Novak, the cross, it's on the ground, and that makes it easy for the Oles to clean up, but the pressure's still on. That one's close. Forsyth has to make sure the Cubeto shot was not going to fall underneath the crossbar.
I'll take a look at this one again as it comes out to Novak. Got a good look there, but about 2 feet over the crossbar.
It's just in a dangerous spot. You just got to be careful. Into the match for the Oles comes Ryan Bechtel, the freshman defender out of Plainfield, Illinois. Of course, the brother of Shea Bechtel. He had a key role in Friday's game against the Shoremen.
Getting an assist. Meanwhile, his brother Shea, 9 goals, 12 assists on the season. He is still just a junior. He's on pace to be the first player in St. Olaf history to have 40 goals and 40 assists in a career.
Second hard foul on McCloskey, and I think that's literally what Galma just came over to say to our official. By the way, our officials, David Elliott's is the center. He was the alternate for both games on Friday. Kerry Williams is our A1 on the far side. Tom Felice is our A2 on the near side. Alex Andrew Fosea is the alternate on the sideline. That's twice McCloskey has been upended early on. McCloskey, though, one of those who doesn't seem too fazed by the physicality. We are 20 minutes into the first half of this Division III Men's Soccer Championship game. He's Ira Thor. I'm Dave McHugh. Jason and Seamus are running the show behind the scenes. Cameramen are enjoying the weather today. Friday was a bit cold and misty, foggy, damp. They're enjoying a little bit of sunshine in mid-60s today. More like Minnesota summer, right? As the Mammoths continue to put on the pressure here, Cubeto with it. He's going to shoot from distance, but misses it far right. Forsyth had that covered as well. Amherst bringing some good fans on hand, including Mike Worrell, one of the famed Amherst Athletics alums on site. St. Olaf didn't bring a bad crowd themselves for 2 teams traveling for distance. For some reason we have blown this dead. Oh, there's a soccer ball on top of the goal that Forsyth has to get rid of, and so we will have a goal kick again.
Amherst has not won a national championship in any team sport since 2018.
The key there being since.
That's a long drought for the Mammoths.
It is. Of course,
women's
that was
basketball.
Women's basketball.
Yep.
G.P. Gromacki, the head coach, still head coach of that program. Of course, Amherst in the headlines, and I'm going to bring this up today. Forsyth can't keep that in bounds. I'll wait a moment. Got a corner kick coming up. I got a little interesting note about today and Amherst history, as Oko Ageye will come over to take the corner, as he did quite a bit in the first game this weekend. He's got Nuhu close to him, and 5 options in the box. Shoots over the top, just missed the header. I believe that was Kalinauskas who just missed that one from the defensive position. He came all the way up, did Kalinauskas, and just missed the crossbar.
Yeah.
Forsyth was there, but that's still a tough one.
Kaunauskas, 6'6", that size out of the back. He's got 5 goals, 4 assists in the year. That is a weapon. You have the size to defend and to be able to push up and get involved offensively. When your center backs are able to get involved offensively, it's a very difficult team to defend.
Foul called on Hakeem Morgan there, and then a conversation by our official David Elliott with Morgan.
But really the keys today, transition-wise for St. Olaf is, and according to Coach Oliver, is limiting the 2 big weapons. And that, of course, being number 21, Mohamed Nuhu, and number 23, Ada Okorgeye.
Amherst keeping the pressure up. St. Olaf needs to get a bit of relief if they can here. And it'll be still a mammoth throw. And not surprisingly, Amherst will do this for much of the game and keep the pressure on, hoping you crack as a unit. And you can't counter, and they eventually ran out of gas, and WNL was able to get that. And the crowd certainly helped the Generals get back into that one. We were talking to Serpone about that too. He said that was another big factor when the crowd got back into it.
And he actually loved that, because you don't typically have
right.
one of these semifinals with a crowd that big. Washington Lee, just an hour away, was able to bust down an entire fan section. And they were silent for a good 60 minutes of that game until that freak first goal for WNL. One that I still think was a pass.
Yeah. Never got a chance to ask about that. St. Olaf trying to relieve the pressure, cannot, as Bechtel can't get a foot to it. And the Mammoths continue.
Something that's been great defensively this year for St. Olaf is they've only given up 2 goals where a team has connected 5 or more passes in a row. So they've been very good at defending transitional chances. And when teams do get those chances, Dave, they force them to try to connect a few passes. Then, by doing so, allowing their players to get back and help with that defensive pressure.
Gaye with it, tries to turn the corner, find Nuhu, can't. The ball ping-pongs around. And finally, the Olies get a foot to it, but Hakeem Morgan can't play it. And now his defensive unit has to withstand trying to keep them from taking a shot. Hayden Ruffner had a chance there. It was taken away by Buzakovic and goes out of bounds for yet another Mammoths throw-in in their offensive third here. Novak, the London, England native, will do the honors, and they'll bring Kaunauskas all the way up. They'll throw it short, though, to Hayden Ruffner. He plays it back. Novak, the cross, target, hits the post. Okoagaye can't get a foot on it. It's still bouncing around. Forseth finally brings it down. Kaunauskas nearly got it. Okoagaye nearly got it, and finally Forseth pulls it down.
Let's take a look at this one again. Comes off the high left crossbar, or high left post, as you say, and Forseth able to recover. But each team now with a golden opportunity, unable to cash in. We're at least even in failed chances.
Under 20 to play, a couple subs here. As out of the game goes Puig for the Olies. And they will bring in number 16, Sean Elster, the Plainfield, Illinois freshman, making his 25th appearance in his first campaign. Saw a Johns Hopkins sweatshirt in the stands. That was last year. Women's soccer. We'll get to the champs in the women's side here in a bit. Under 20 to play here. St. Olaf with a throw into the box, cleared out immediately. Nuhu trying to grab it for the Mammoths and counterattack. Great job defensively of the Olies getting back.
Hopkins is a national brand. They've plenty of alums out here in the Roanoke Valley.
Quick note, get it in about Amherst. December 3rd is today, as you may all know. It's the birthday of Dave Hickson, the former basketball coach on the men's side for the Mammoths, as Forseth will play that with his head. Of course, an alum of Amherst, led them to a few national championships himself, and is the first Division III anybody to get inducted to the Naismith Hall of Fame. That happened this summer. So happy birthday to Dave Hickson, and it's all about Amherst in the headlines for a while now.
Justin Serpone was
made me jealous that he went to that. Yeah. It's not every day you go to a Hall of Fame and one of the biggest inductees, as we have a corner, tips his hat to a guy like Dave Hickson as the head coach for San Antonio Spurs. You might know who he is. Basically said,
Big Daddy Popovich.
There you go. I don't know what I'm doing here. I look up to guys like Dave Hickson.
Springfield, Massachusetts, just down the road from Amherst.
Right down the road. Dave Hickson could sleep in his own bed if he wanted that weekend. Under 18 to play. Corner kick coming in. Line drive cleared out by the Olies. Amherst continue the pressure. This one flicked in. Forset's going to punch it. He could have grabbed it. I don't think he realized he had time. And now a foul behind the play is going to be called. And St. Olaf will get a free kick in the middle of the box.
Probably didn't realize he had as much time as he did.
Yeah.
But the punch was perfect. It was nice and high and allowed everybody to reset. So if you're not going to grab it, that's your next best option. Forset's just been great this entire championship so far.
He has. Played over the top. Too far for Morgan to run onto, and Lando will play it himself.
And I think it's fair to say that he's been the best of the 4 goalies so far this weekend. Landa's played very well. Obviously, Landa stood on his head in the PKs.
Joseph would be my number 2. It's a great little play.
Yeah, Landa gets the credit, though, because of what he did stopping 2 PKs in the shootout.
Yep.
And then, of course, W&L shot themselves in the foot with 2 off the crossbar.
2 off the crossbar, one flat save by Landa, the other one a save post combo package. Amherst didn't do much favors for themselves either, we should point out. There were only 2 goals of 8 shots scored. Amherst, including one of them, missed a field goal wide right that hit the scoreboard. It was still rising when it hit that scoreboard. And missed it, and then Joseph made another save. So it was a wacky penalty kick.
And Coach Serpone was honest. He's like, his team was lucky to get to penalties, but you know, they are a team that finds ways to win. That's just been their style. And you know, he's told me that
nice throw to Morgan here.
That their guys don't get enough credit for doing what they need to win.
Calma's the one who's got the ball here. He'll play it to the top of the box. Opportunity, cross! Dangerous situation there as Buzakovich threw it across. Morgan now with it, trying to turn the corner and leave it for a teammate. He does to McCloskey. McCloskey plays it up top. Bukovic with some room. Buzakovich just missed the post on the far side. The time it took him to reset himself to get it on his right may have just been enough time for Landa to cover the post.
Second best opportunity this one so far for the Olies. But Buzakovich might have had other options there had he settled a little faster, Dave.
Yes.
But again, it goes back to the pressure from Amherst. They take so much pride in making teams uncomfortable. And, you know, this game goes along. The Olies are going to find some opportunities.
Oh, opportunity here. But Forsyth quick off his line, much like Joseph was on Friday. And Nuhu's opportunity is snuffed out. Go ahead, I apologize. Nuhu apologized.
But this definitely feels like a 1-goal type game, like a 2-1 type contest today.
Trying to break through his Bechtel, and he's going to get run out of real estate as Valdez Bush tracks the ball down. He's trying. Well, he got to it. He's looking for the foul. I didn't see it that time. I thought Valdez Bush did a good job of being close enough to the ball and playing in a shield position. I agree that sometimes a shielding 5-6 yards from the ball has gotten out of hand, but I thought Valdez Bush did a nice job on that one.
Shea Bechtel has played hard out there, but he's pretty much been held off the scoreboard since the first game of the tournament, that 7-1 win against Wisconsin Superior.
Weird moment just a moment ago. Niall Murphy looking to the sideline and being coached up by one of the fans in the stand. Literally Murphy looking at him and agreeing and understanding what he's trying to tell him to do. Does Serpone have a coach? I'm kidding, but it's kind of interesting. You don't usually see guys at this level looking at the sideline for coaching tips when it's not their own bench. Nuhu with the ball. And big battle there with
great piece of defending by Aiden Hillis.
I was going to say, Aiden Hillis did a great job defensively. Morgan can't get a piece of that. He got a little extra shove in the back there maybe from Clark Eden. Morgan, I think, got a little frustrated with that. But Morgan, I was standing near him in pregame. He is a big guy. And that foul is going to, it went out of bounds. Are they calling the throw or are they calling the foul? Yeah, they are calling the foul on Okoageye. And our official having a rather lengthy conversation with Okoageye there. Can't tell from the from the motions what he was trying to tell the London, England native, but being demonstrative nonetheless. So the Oles kick it down. Morgan's going to receive it in the offensive third. He's got Clark Eden on his back. He'll play it to Bechtel. Bechtel, little bit of room. Bechtel still coming. That is a brilliant slide tackle by Clark Eden. Perfectly timed, got to the ball and snuffed out the attack from Bechtel. And another cutback there by Valdez-Bush. And McCloskey comes in, and Okoageye picks it up instead. He's gone the motor to the top of the 18. What will he do here? He will lose possession, and McCloskey will steal it back. I thought Okoageye was thinking about going to Nuhu, but thought, everyone knows I'm doing that, and looked like he was trying to set up a shot.
Yeah, McCloskey does a great job picking it right off his foot. Also defensively on the other end, yes, a tremendous job by Clark Eden, but not enough credit there to Kubedu, number 10, who also came in and helped take a ball off of the foot of the Oles.
So into the game for the Oles comes Liam Vance, a Minneapolis, Minnesota native. In the meantime, Bechtel took a seat near the center circle. He's now back to his feet, and they're going to officially stop things for him to exit the game. I'm not sure who they will bring in his stead. Or were they supposed to be bringing, they changed their mind. I guess they're going to bring in Vance for Bechtel instead of whoever they were subbing in initially. Or are they looking for another? Let's see here. They don't have enough on the field.
Liam Vance.
Well, Morgan's out now, too. There's a little bit of confusion here as to who should be on the field and who shouldn't. Our fourth official now talking to the coaching staff about it. Since Bechtel was technically injured, he doesn't have to be subbed in for.
I'm counting 8 white shirts on the field right now.
One with the ball on the throw-in.
It's possible.
3 defenders, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, they're down 2.
It's possible Bechtel's going to quickly return after getting.
But even that, isn't that leaving or am I missing a guy that they only have 8 white shirts out there?
Yeah, it looks like he's on the sideline stretching it out. So Bechtel right.
Oh, there's 9. Okay.
Bechtel standing right next to the AR2.
So it sounds like Bechtel, maybe with the increased heat, and I'm saying, just increased temperatures today. Looks like he reached for an inhaler.
Oh.
And now the coaching trainers are also looking at his shins. So they're playing a man down right now, are the Oles, while Bechtel gets attended to. In the meantime, Nuhu's got the ball, plays it to the top of the 18 corner, and unable to get to it was Hayton Ruffner. Great defense there from the Oles, and it will be a St. Olaf throw as it deflected off of Hayton Ruffner.
And a smart play to allow his teammate to return.
Yep, Bechtel now into the game.
Oh, you talked about the increased heat. I mean, 63 degrees, very uncommon to have a game at this. I mean, it's comfortable, but this temperature early in December. It's only 35 degrees in Northfield, Minnesota.
I was going to say it was 16 about 5 days ago up there. So
I mean, 35 this time of year is a heat wave. Again,
10:45 to go, first half. He's our Thor. I'm Dave McHugh.
No member of the MIAC has ever won a national championship in men's soccer because Davis Adolphus, the only one to get here back in 2005.
Bechtel plays it up top. Shot from distance is way too high. That one again coming from Buzakovic.
And we knew in that first national final we were going to have a first-time finalist, and it's good for the sport.
Absolutely.
We've seen so many repeat teams.
Listen, since Messiah's run on both the men's and women's side where they just dominated, much like Mount Union did in football, and I'm going to tie that in as well. We have seen Division III, and this is in basketball, in women's basketball, both soccers, football, lacrosses. The division has gotten so much deeper and so much better in the second and third tier of talent, to the point that you now get a mix like you do here in the championship weekend. Hats off to California Lutheran, California Lou, however you want to call them, Cal Lutheran, for winning their first national championship in women's soccer, knocking off Wash U yesterday. Wash U has been a power for many years in the sport. And Cal Lou with 3 starters down who got injured in the semifinals won 1-0 over Wash U to the point. The talent has gotten deeper in the division. It's spread out across the country more. More and more are coming to Division III to play their collegiate athletics. And you're seeing it in terms of more depth and newer teams.
Well, the Olies have been a program on the rise. Travis Wall.
Who, in the meantime, and Forsyth all the way out.
Travis Wall helped build this program up for the last 4 years before he left after last season to take over the head coaching job in his home state at Kenyon. And Justin Oliver gives full credit to his mentor for help getting the program where it is.
So Amherst continuing the pressure here. Nuhu trying to get to it. It is not necessarily cleared there by Buzakovic. Amherst continue to put the pressure on, but Bechtel, just a missed breaking off on that one. He would have been off to the races. We would have seen the big guys of Amherst have to get on their elephants to try and catch up. And Nuhu's gone down. Not sure if he's badly injured or trying to convince David Elliott that the foul was egregious.
Well, you're talking about just missing there for Bechtel, and he'll be the first one to admit it. Coach Oliver has said that he's left a handful of goals out there this year. He hasn't always been in his best form.
Gonna see it again. Oh, yeah, ankle, knee to knee, something like that. I don't think that's as egregious as Nuhu is trying to make it seem. I think David Elliott's certainly going to have a conversation with the defender, but I think
it's certainly uncomfortable.
At this point, either Nuhu's got to go off with an injury or get up and play. I think at this point we've stopped the clock and now he's gone down. So I'm not sure. At this point, I think we got to bring the trainer out, and I think David Elliott has decided enough's enough.
Oh, he's in a great deal of pain, and we saw.
I hope so. Yes. I mean that legitimately.
We saw that same situation with Hakeem Morgan.
Yeah.
And we were really questioning whether he was going to be able to play today. To his credit, he's probably in a great deal of pain, but Morgan, going to leave it all out here today in a national final. But the trainer is out to check on Nuhu, so he's going to have to come out of this game.
So the trainer comes out to take a look at Nuhu and the Mammoths, and both teams will go to the side. So 7:37 left to go here, first half. Both teams, of course, in the championship game. Amherst for the fourth time since 2015. St. Olaf for the first time ever. And St. Olaf using nothing but wins, we should point out. They have not lost since they started 1-3 on the season. They lost to Chicago at the time to being the defending champs, was a preseason #1 team. Lost 4-2 in that one, then defeated Knox 7-0. Then lost to then number 24 Ohio Wesleyan 2-1 and number 5 Kenyon 2-0. As Nuhu is still being tended to. So they started 1-3.
21 game unbeaten streak, 18-0-3 during that span.
Amherst's little hiccup, Ira, came more in the middle of the season when they lost to Babson 2-1, who was ranked 18th at the time, and had to travel to or come home and play Williams in a rivalry game. They got the win back, but then lost to Conn College on December 3rd and tied Wesleyan 1-1. And it was that Wesleyan game with Bowdoin the next day that was really the turning point for this team, according to Coach Serpone, as you see Nuhu being helped off the field. He felt that the conversation they had in Old Orchard Beach between the Wesleyan and Bowdoin games really kind of woke up the team. And if I remember correctly from the conversation you had with him, he felt he had played the last card with his group. Like, this is it, guys. It's either now or never. And, man, they have responded. They haven't lost since, picking up 3 ties along the way. So Nuhu slow to depart. Let's see if they've subbed anybody in.
Of course, Amherst had an 8-game winning streak snapped, but they still haven't lost in those 13 games.
They did bring in a sub. It looks like they brought in Declan Sung. There he is. He's walking up towards the wall. In the meantime, Kubetu is the one who is standing over the ball. Forsyth is lining up his wall. He's using Olseth as the one on the post. They're putting 4 on the wall. Just a stride over the 18 here. So this shot by deduction is about 30 yards. 29, 30 yards out. Wind blowing a little bit in the face of Kubedu. We'll see what he does. They've cut Bechtel a little off on a semi-wall. Shot for the near corner for Seth. Doesn't matter if he had it covered or not. Didn't have to make a move. Wind has definitely picked up, though. And near miss there for the Mammoths.
Kubedu with a good opportunity there. Clark Eden made himself big on that play as well with an opportunity to run in on the pass.
Not sure what Kubedu thought there.
I think he was looking at Clark Eden, making the run in.
McCloskey can't hold on to it.
Dave, if we're looking at the turning point in this program's history, it actually wasn't this year for St. Olaf. It was last year.
Hold on, McCloskey with a breakthrough. No, he can't. Now, Kalinauskas wants to hear the rest of your thought.
September 11th of the 2022 season, St. Olaf lost to University of Chicago.
Bechtel with a cross in, and it's cleared out.
2-1. That game was at Amos Alonzo Stagg Field in Chicago. Chicago, of course, went on to win the national title. Coach Oliver looks back at that game as the moment where if they could go toe-to-toe with a team like that went on to win a national title, it shows that they're not too far off being able to win a national title themselves. They just needed to clean some things up, and that's what they've done this year. And this year they lost to Chicago, that 4-2.
All the way in. Landa's got a sky for that inside his 6 and picks it down.
That's pretty much an offensive slugfest, that first game of the season. In that game, Chicago scored 4 goals on 3 total connected passes. They knew at that moment earlier this year that if this was going to be a season, they needed to find ways to be better at defending teams in transition, defending set pieces. That's what they've done. So Chicago, 2 games against Chicago, both last year and this year, have been kind of that transition in the history of this program. I think it's interesting.
Falls. There's no call. That's a great play by Clark Eden. In the meantime, Mammoth's countering.
I think it's interesting that they then get to their first national semifinal by beating Chicago in the Elite Eight.
I was going to say that first game against Chicago to start the season was a little bit, maybe a bit of a blow to their hopes. They didn't play the way they wanted to, but certainly made up for it in the Elite Eight as Forseth will cover that cross.
Well, you know what that is. That moment where you finally get that nemesis off your back.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They finally get over that hurdle.
Especially a program like Chicago.
It's also interesting, though, because for years this great
nice
offensive
play to the outside of McCloskey.
Great offensive team, but they've been a team that's been a little bit more of a strong ball, on-ball identity type team. This year they've scored a lot more rattier, scrappier goals, I guess you could describe them.
Big foul on the sideline.
So,
extra look from Sung.
In previous years, they had many individual highlight goals. This year, the Olies have gotten a lot better at scoring off corner kicks and free kicks and long throw-ins, and they've earned 7 penalty kicks this year, scoring on 6 of them. So they're finding different ways to score goals. Still scoring the same quantity that they have in the past, but a little bit more tenacious in their goal-scoring ability.
Long throw in here. Flicked on, and one of the players for St. Olaf went down in the box. It was in the corner of my eye. I didn't see what caused Vance to
looked like
fall.
Vance, a little too much contact, but they got away with it.
Landa made a play on that flick on. Slipping a little bit there was Kubedu, who's back to his feet. Long service trying to find Sung. By the way, Nuhu is staying out, being out for an injury. He could come back in this first half if the team chose, but they have not brought him back in.
And
he's somewhere on the bench, so he's not being treated anymore.
Dave, just to finish that one thought, talking about the kind of goals that the Olies have scored this year. If you look at that Wisconsin-Eau Claire game in the NCAA tournament, where it was a 4-3 game in the round of 16, 4 goals in that game for the Olies. 2 were on PKs by Galma, and 2 were scored on corner kicks. So it's those scrappier goals, those earned goals, those set-piece goals.
McCloskey with a great idea, just not on the same page with Galma. McCloskey on the near side, interesting enough, and he went to backheel it to Galma to break him out. Galma was actually moving towards McCloskey, so just a miscommunication there. McCloskey now on the left side picks it up. He's a little bit more fluid in his position right now, plays it to Bechtel. Bechtel gets absolutely run over. No call, another slide tackle now. That will be called. And Amherst has got to be careful here because they're going to draw a card.
Yeah, that's a good call there on Kalinowskis.
There was a foul somewhere because Kalinowskis rolls through him here.
But watch as he slides.
Bechtel, the second one's not there. They were watching Bechtel before he had the hard foul. I thought he had him on there. Oh, did he get?
I think he got him in the second one where he kind of
slid
cleats up.
Under 3 minutes to go here. It was no card there. Serpone's assistants are to the point of drawing the ire of our alternate official. I'm surprised. This is probably, I think, sometimes why Amherst gets sometimes a bad rap, because this one's going to get served in nicely. Oh, too far from McCloskey and others. Listen, I don't think I like how Amherst plays. They play aggressive. They're going to be physical to the point an official's going to allow. As into the game for the Mammoths comes Ryan Gomez, and that's not a problem. You're playing within the game. I think it's when they cause that foul, they're aggressive, they play hard, they get called for it, and then they argue it. And I think that's the part where they get the bad rap, because then it comes across like, well, I'm not playing hard. But you are, and that's fine. That's your identity. But then I think it's the argument that gets them in a little bit of trouble.
And they have self-awareness, right? They, talking to Coach Serpone, they know that at times they're maybe not the most lovable team
right
in Division III, but they find ways to win. They're a hard-nosed, defensive-minded team, and they play well together.
And they play hard. They don't play bad. They don't play dirty. They play aggressive within the rules.
And maybe it's not always pretty.
No.
But the results are there.
Yeah, I think it's just that
consistently,
I think it's
year
just
after
the
year,
arguing after the fact, as if there's no way I'm innocent, that it becomes the argument. That's the interesting factor. It's an interesting dichotomy here. St. Olaf, certainly a little more technical team. I mean, listen, the game we saw with them against Washington, very technical, right? A lot of passing, a lot of positioning, a lot of kind of X's and O's and moving chess pieces, whereas Amherst and W&L was a little bit more just kind of bully your way through each other. Both teams are just kind of going at it. It's an interesting, different strategy for both. And Kubetu's going to get a foul, if not a card, because, yeah, that was from behind with an elbow. So Kubetu picks up his fourth yellow card of the game. Fans don't like it, but that looks pretty obvious. He came right through the back.
Yeah, his fourth yellow of the season here, but, yeah, a little unnecessary contact there.
You're not going to win a ball from that position.
Finally, the ire of the center official.
Yeah, I think David Elliott had seen enough. So we have our first booking of the contest. Kubetu picks up foul number 4. Interesting enough, Amherst with nobody really in yellow card danger. Obviously, if you pick one up here, I think it translates to next season, but really doesn't matter to this season. Whereas St. Olaf does have a player not playing today, a senior, because he picked up his 8th yellow in the tournament, and that was Harvey Latham. Nice job there by Hayton Ruffner.
It's a heck of a way to have your career end.
Yeah, I know. 1 minute left to go here in the half. It is 0-0. I had to double check the scoreboard. There's been a lot of action in this one.
Each team with one dynamic chance and maybe a second good chance.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, absolutely.
For the Olies.
Landon made a brilliant save. Nice feed from McCloskey, just a little slow, and Murphy got to it. And that will be Mammoth's throwing at midfield here. Clock ticking with 30 seconds left to play.
But this very easily could be a 1-1 game right now.
Absolutely.
And I think the teams will be satisfied to get to
late
the break.
Sub here, Luca Ohadike, the freshman, making his 12th appearance of the season.
He'll get in the box score in the national final.
With 20 seconds to play in the half. 10 seconds left. Oka Gay on the far side goes out of bounds. That's going to wrap it up. Amherst is going to make a valiant attempt here. With 3 seconds left, it enters the box, but just not going to enough time to cross the goal line. A late flurry there from McCarthy on a volley, and it is 0-0 at halftime. Your quick thoughts before we take a break.
No, I think both teams satisfied with the run of play here in this first 45 minutes. Impressive for the Olies is that they have not allowed this pressure from Amherst to derail their game plan. They're coming out and attacking. They're not sitting back like W&L did at times in the semifinal. And I think it's going to be a one-goal game in the second half, or if we go beyond that, it's going to decide this.
So we'll take a break here at halftime. Amherst and St. Olaf knotted at no goals apiece at halftime in the Division III Men's Soccer National Championships here on NCAA.com. Welcome back. Dave McHugh alongside Ira Thor here in Salem, Virginia. It's the end of the first half, and we're getting ready for second half action. Both teams eager to get out there and play. Normally they kind of take their time. They're ready to go, and so we're ready to go as well. It is St. Olaf and Amherst, and for the first time this weekend in any of the games on the women's and men's side, and you're talking this is the sixth game, no one scored in the first half of play. It is 0-0 as we're back underway. St. Olaf's in the home whites with the maroon, or black numbers, I should say. And the Mammoths of Amherst are in their road purples with white numbers. Amherst going left to right. St. Olaf going right to left, maybe across your cell phone or your tablet, your computer. Maybe it's your big screen. However you're enjoying it on NCAA.com, we thank you for joining us.
6-6 were the shots in the first half, and interesting enough that both these teams on their runs to get to this point have only been outshot in a game one time each.
Cross, nowhere close because it deflected out of bounds for the corner. But we should point out, Nuhu is not back out there. They have Luca Ohadike starting this second half is the Mammoths. So Nuhu is out still. I see him on the sideline.
And this is the
talking with the trainer. At least he's on his feet.
First corner kick of the game here for the Olies.
It'll be Morgan to take. In swinger expected. It is towards the near post. Headed out of danger. Not out of trouble, but it's out of trouble by Ohadike. But it will be a throw-in for the Olies. So quick note on Nuhu. He's being treated by the trainers. And we'll see if he can come back in. He got kind of a ankle-to-ankle or knee-to-knee moment that didn't look that bad, but apparently it has gotten Nuhu out of this game so far. Flicked on, and it'll be out for a goal kick as the attempt from Morgan on the throw-in there.
And of course, Nuhu is their leading goal scorer of the year.
There he is, being tended to by the trainer.
And of their two big pieces between Nuhu and Okorogehe, 14 goals between the two of them, but
they're checking his knee. So he did something to his knee there.
But Mohammed did score a big goal against WNL. Okorogehe has not scored at all in the last 13 games. So with Nuhu out of this contest, Dave, that just makes Ada's performance and his ability to try to create offensive chances so much more important now for this Amherst squad.
Well, and it puts the pressure on another freshman who's now only in his 12th game of the season, in Ohadike. He's in his 1 goal, 2 assists on 2 shots this season, the West Orange, New Jersey native. Ooh, big collision, top of the box. That's the first time a Mammoth player seems to have taken the worst of it as Oberholzer and Kalinauskis collide. Ball played all the way back for Seth, who's got a hat on. By the way, one other note we did not get to, and we got to mention for the Mammoths. Landa is out. No, wait, that is Landa, isn't it?
There was a question whether he was going to return.
That is Landa. I apologize. Yep. In the meantime, shot. Wow, the freshman comes up huge. Freshman Oda Hadike scores the first for the Mammoths. Hello, national championship moment. Ira, just as we got saying, puts the pressure on the freshman. He comes up huge.
As able to split 2 defenders there, and Forsyth came out, but
did that deflect?
Look at this.
No, I think he just flat out shot it.
Just fired it right past. What a moment for the freshman.
Second goal of the season in his 12th game. He is playing for the Rookie of the Year right now in Mohamed Nuhu, and he picks up the first tally of the contest, not even 5 minutes into the second half.
And both of his goals this year have come during this NCAA run. He scored in the opening round against SUNY Poly, so what a time to come alive. You got your big gun on the bench getting treated, Nuhu, and welcome to the big show, young fella.
Incredible moment there. So 1-0, Amherst up.
Of course, it's a kid from Jersey.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd miss that.
Jersey grit, baby.
So St. Olaf's going to have to play from behind for the first time this weekend.
Well, if they're watching this game on campus, they were watching the semifinal at Lipton Lecture Hall.
That'll be a foul from behind, and nice way to draw that one by the freshman as well, as he gets congratulated by his team.
But if they're watching this game, again, in the Lipton Lecture Hall in the Science Center at Amherst, where they watched the semifinal, they are very much enjoying the emergence of this young fella.
By the way, Olseth's the one that picked up the foul. He was a little bit ticked off about that. Casper Olseth, the Mankato, Minnesota native. There are still fans coming back from halftime who missed the goal. But Mammoths now have a big opportunity here with a free kick just outside the center circle with the wind somewhat at their back. Kubetu, who starts his second half, plays it off to Okorogehe into the corner, and he'll force a corner kick off the foot of Aiden Hillis. So St. Olaf, who started the first half a little sluggish, is starting the second half a little sluggish. Oh, he finds themselves down 1-0 and in danger on this corner kick of giving up a second. They have every single player inside of 12 yards defensively. This one on line drive in. McCloskey pops it up. He's got time to play it, but heads it. It'll go out of bounds for a throw-in. He didn't realize he had time because who has time in a box usually to bring it down to your feet. So just as we got done talking about the impact that Nuhu had in not being out there and putting some pressure on Ohadike to complement Okorogehe, he comes through with a goal, and it is 1-0 Amherst. Well, we've got to wait for a shoe tie here from one of the Mammoths.
Got to keep a close eye on Okorogehe. He's standing right at the top of the 6. Now he peels off a little bit, but
the one getting the shoe tie was Murphy, by the way. And now some pushing and shoving. There's a sandwich at the top of the 6. It is a Mammoth inside of Oli's sandwich. You can get it down at Mac and Bob's. I think it's on special today for $9.95. Popped in. The target was Kalinauskis, who was the inside of that sandwich. He'll be out for another corner kick.
Amherst, though, so dangerous on these set pieces. One of the biggest, most mammoth teams in NCAA Division III. 6 guys on the roster who are 6'4" or bigger. 11 guys 6'2" or bigger.
Kalinauskis calling for the ball on the back post here.
And he's one of them at 6'6".
Played in. Forseth skies over his own teammate that time. Pulls it down again. Forseth wearing the hat because the sun has become prevalent this afternoon, and he is now looking into it for the first time, at least for the men. The sun is a factor in this game, at least for one of the goalies. Landa, by the way, let me finish that up. Landa is in the game. We saw Juan Perez warming up aggressively at halftime and got word that Landa may be a little bit beat up, but Landa is out there, the California native, but we'll see how long, just in case they do need to bring in Juan Perez.
Well, Max Landa will have the rest of his life to heal up if he's banged up.
That is true. McCloskey trying to get upfield. He's cut off smartly there by Hayden Ruffner, and the ball is played down. They'll play it all the way back to Forseth, who has to retreat a bit. Okorogehe forces Forseth to play it out to the side. Tracking back to pick it up is Hillis, but he's got some pressure on from Ohadike, but it's Ohadike who then commits the foul and will allow St. Olaf to at least kick it, but they're kicking into the wind, so they'll play it across the field to Forseth instead.
The Olies have conceded some goals through this NCAA run. That's now 7 goals allowed in 5 games. They've scored 17, which is why they are here, but
well, they came into the weekend averaging 3 on offense, but giving up a goal per game.
And they're not going to be fazed by that. If there's any game that we can look at and point to, is that Chicago game in the round of 8, where they were able to score a late goal to beat Chicago 2-1. But they've also been in tough situations against Wisconsin Eau Claire, 4-3, a game that was back and forth. They're not fazed from playing from behind.
Mammoth's putting on that pressure. Great move on the outside there by Beckman to get around Kubetu, who's starting the second half. Kubetu's actually been playing pretty decently considering he is not at 100%. Mammoths with the wind at their backs just boot it downfield. It is headed down or headed back up by Buzakovich. He then plays it up ahead to Oberholzer on to McCloskey. McCloskey nearly gets stuck and gets pulled back by Kalinauskis, and he will draw a card here because that was way too aggressive, though some sportsmanship from Kalinauskis, who helps McCloskey to his feet, but watch the yank here. That is just, and then the trip from behind.
Yeah, no doubt about that one.
It's the 1-2 combo, right? You know, okay, the pull's one thing. He went and cleated him on his heels. That's another.
So as they set up for the set piece, we know there's some watch parties going on both campuses. We give a shout out to those watching this game in Northfield at Thompson Hall 280, where they're having a watch party, but they're also watching this in St. Paul, Minnesota, at the Black Heart of St. Paul bar, world famous soccer bar.
Great to be in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Of course, Justin Oliver graduated from St. Thomas after 3 years in D1. Nice defensive play there by Beckman. Plays it up ahead.
Just nice that so many folks able to get together on a beautiful Sunday and watch this championship together.
They're watching some football. The right football, right? Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
Being that I work for 2 NFL teams.
Oberholzer plays it into the middle.
I'm going to let that one go.
That's going to be a foul from behind that time by Galma.
I'm missing the Jet game today to hang out with you, David.
Are you, though?
I am.
No, but are you? 36-25 remaining.
You never know when you're going to have an Aaron Rodgers sighting.
Those in South America probably see him often.
I don't think he's too popular in Minnesota.
No, he is not. We mentioned St. Thomas, one of 3 teams to represent the MIAC here in the national championship weekend. That was the year before Justin Oliver. I'm sorry. Yes, Justin Oliver came to St. Thomas on a transfer. Of course, St. Thomas now in Division I after getting asked to leave the MIAC.
Showing the door.
Yep.
But Coach Oliver started his career
at
Eastern Illinois, had a great 3-year run there, and then 1 year at St. Thomas, second team All-American honors. He was former Mr. Soccer in the state of Minnesota as a high school player.
He is. I meant to check the Coaches Association to see who the coaching staff of the year was, but I'm sure he's in the conversation. His squad. That one thrown all the way into the 6. Landis got to play it right at his goal line. That got dangerously close, and he quickly outlets it to Kubetu, who's got room to work down the left-hand side. Zakovic comes over and makes it difficult. Now a tug of jerseys takes place with Hohadike, who's so far the hero in this game. He's still got the ball. He's going shoulder to shoulder with Hillis. Gets around Hillis, but the help defense snuffs it out, but it's not out of danger. Murphy now with it. Murphy's going to cross it. It's headed out of danger. Bechtel comes over. Can't hold on to it as Murphy takes it back yet again. It'll be out of bounds for the throw-in. And Ira, I think what'll be interesting here is we get some subs entering the game for, or just one sub coming in for the Mammoths. Wow, we see Giannis Hagianis for the first time today, the Cyprus native. He played a little bit on Friday as well. He comes in at 5'11", though. He seems bigger than that 5'11" information would assume. But back to my point is, okay, Emerson putting on the pressure. How long can they keep the pressure on? This one flicked in, and it was Hagianis who gets a foot to it. How long can they keep the pressure on it, Ira, before what happened to them against WNL happens, where they wear out and WL takes advantage of it? And can St. Olaf take advantage of it? Or can Amherst get enough of a lead to make this difficult? By the way, Puig re-enters the game for St. Olaf. Got a long halftime there for him. And I realize there's no answer to those questions, but I think that's what we now start to watch for this Amherst squad. Do they pour it on and break the backs of St. Olaf, or they're going to wear themselves out and St. Olaf come back? Going all the way across there was Ohadike. Plays it to the outside to Okoorgeye. He plays it in. It's headed up by Beckman. McCloskey back will play it out of the box. Going to try and keep it in bounds, and he does so. Plays it up. Bechtel tries to win it. He doesn't get to it initially, but does on the second try. He has no numbers, but has possession. St. Olaf is slow in transition here, but he'll play it to the outside now to Bechtel, who had come up, the younger one, Ryan. Winning the ball from behind was Puig. The older Bechtel now plays it into the middle. Buzakovic shot just missed the near post.
Another good look for the Olies here. Max Landa pretty much cut off any chance for that to go in, but you got to give a lot of credit to number 24, Casper Olseth, who's the center back in this 3-5-2 formation for the Olies. He is playing. Take another look at the opportunity.
See Buzakovic with the shot.
This is a little bit of a screamer, but well wide of the post. But
bouncing was the tough part.
Olseth has been great.
Landa's not taking this kick, so to the point that he's not at 100%, he will not take the goal kick, and he does have a bit of a limp to him. We're not sure what happened.
But that's a clear-cut sign when your keeper's not taking the kick. That
unless he doesn't kick, but we see Landa do it all the time.
He's been taking kicks all game, so clearly he's got something going on with his leg. But just back to Olseth, something with that it's clear for the Olies this year is they're not a super athletic team in the midfield or in the back lines. They're undersized compared to some teams, particularly noticeable today against a mammoth team like Amherst. But Casper actually started the season last year as a striker, and he was a striker until last spring. He's actually converted into the center back spot.
Murphy getting fired up after his teammate Ohadike gets taken out in another battle with Hillis.
But he lost that role a few games into the season, then finally won it back, and has never looked back. And he's just so cerebral back there in the middle. So, see how well the Olies are able to defend. We have Casper Olseth leading that charge.
So taking this will be Novak. Plays it in, bouncing around. Opportunity shot blocked. St. Olaf's trying to get to the ball. McCloskey will do so on the near side. By the way, another thing we have not talked about, and I just noticed, well, hold on. Mammoths continue to put on pressure. Forsyth misplays that in the middle. Not out of danger yet here. Ohadike, and it will go out of bounds for a corner kick. Mammoths are without right now another one of their main players in Sean Rapal. He has played 15 minutes. It came in the opening 15 of the game. He is currently laying down with his feet up.
Remember, he was
on the bench.
Asked to be taken out of the game,
yes.
So he knew he was banged up.
So he's out as well, and they don't have Nuhu, but last I checked on Nuhu, he is down at the end of the bench, at least standing. As Okogeye gets ready to put this in play, it's a in-swinger. Mammoths get a touch on it a couple times. Forsyth decides he's had enough, comes out and picks it out of the air. So you've got Rapal, who is now on his back. He wasn't there earlier. I saw him standing with his feet up in the air. You have Nuhu, who has something happen to his knee. He's out right now, and Nuhu is limping badly as well. So I don't expect Nuhu back in this game. I don't expect Rapal back in this game. And Amherst is leading 1-0 thanks to a freshman. But back to the question, how long can they hold out with two of their more important members not going to be probably returning to this game?
Well, this is where having that day off yesterday critical because they played 110 minutes plus PK on Friday night. So they at least had a day to recover. And we noticed how they did kind of get burned out towards the end of that game. WNL kept applying pressure, was able to rally in that one.
Morgan in the middle of the field. Look at the track back there by Okogeye. Played back to Galma. He'll play it down the wing to McCloskey. Plays a nice through ball to Morgan. Shot! Landa makes the save, but it goes off the post for the goal. Olies have tied it. Ole, ole, ole. Wow! What a shot from the worst angle possible. Landa gets a piece of it, hits the back post, and goes in.
I'm thinking Hakeem Morgan's pretty healthy now. Let's take a look at this run. Great through ball by McCloskey. Morgan runs left foot. Don't know if he got a fingertip on the ball.
Yeah, he did. He
but
got a piece
look
of
at
it.
the location off.
Wow.
The same spot that McCloskey scored in the semifinal. Inside the post, clanks in. Nothing you could do there if you're Max Landa. And now goes back to the question you posed. How long can they hold them off?
No.
Not much longer.
It was approximately 15 minutes.
So now if you're Amherst, you have to reset. You know that you're missing some pieces, but you have a lot of experience on the field who've been in this situation before. Of course, Amherst trying to become just the second team in the last decade to win the NESCAC title and the NCAA tournament. Sometimes it's better to actually lose in that NESCAC tournament so you get the extra week of rest. So they've been through some wars, have these Mammoths.
Got a restart here.
It's the second time this game we've had to restart.
I think both times the Mammoths have been kicking. They're calling Bechtel on it this time. I'm not sure what Bechtel's argument is. I think what his main argument is, could you please pay attention to the Amherst Mammoths, who on the far side are well over the line by the time the ball is put in play.
Just the fourth goal the Mammoths have allowed in this NCAA tournament. 3 of the 4 have come here in Roanoke.
28.5 minutes left, and we're tied again. After a scoreless first half, it's a 1-1 second half on 2 brilliant moments for both teams. I should point out for St. Olaf, this is their 4th top 25 team in the tournament. The only one they didn't, Superior was not ranked, Eau Claire was not ranked. But Carleton, their crosstown rival, was 12th. Chicago 21st, Washington 18th. As Bechtel gets it on the far side and tries to go through Kalinauskas, but cannot, but draws a corner kick. The momentum a little bit back now with the Oles.
Yeah, we saw the momentum swing after that goal by Washington and Lee late in the second half. We're starting to see the same here as Hakeem Morgan, who just scored his 10th goal of the year, will take the in-swinger. The momentum certainly has swung towards the team west of the Mississippi. And their fans certainly getting involved for the first time today.
Morgan will take this. It'll be an in-swinger. Right, going for the near post, flicked on by a Mammoth player. It will roll towards the flag and out for another corner kick. Murphy trying to argue it's a goal kick, but it was clearly off one of his teammates. We'll check it out again here. And that was off the head of Valdez Bush.
Still good defense there by Bush to clear it out. Just the 3rd corner kick now for the Oldies.
A lot of white shirts and purple shirts inside the 6-yard box.
Yeah, they are excellent in this set piece situation.
That one popped up in the box and cleared out. And so, but the Oldies will get to it here. St. Olaf's Hillis. Wow. No call there.
Oh,
and now
danger.
A breakaway here for Hajianis, and now there's a call, and it's coming from the 4th official, and Serpone was at midfield angry. I think it came from our 4th or our alternate. Now we'll have a stoppage. I saw our center official look over towards the sideline after blowing that whistle. It wasn't offsides, so I'm assuming they're actually calling a foul he didn't see that he got help from his alternate officials.
If indeed it's a foul, it's the right decision to stop it. Otherwise, you have a breakaway. And for Amherst to have an opportunity for a breakaway after a foul, obviously you don't want to let that decide the game.
Yeah, that's a foul.
Yeah, he definitely
played right through him.
Went right, yeah, exactly, ran right through him and no chance
so
to come back in the
whoever called it made the right decision to stop the play.
Without it, Hajianis has himself a breakaway.
Is on maybe a one-on-one?
One-on-one plus
maybe the defender flying in, yeah. So the Oldies will get a free kick here as the sun is a bit of a factor. Wind has picked up, a little bit different than we saw most of this weekend for both championships. Buzakovic plays it into the middle of the box, flicked on. Almost got a foot on that. Was that? That was Ryan Bechtel, and now another foul, and now frustration from the Oldies.
This time it's called on Hadike, the goal scorer.
Hadike gets it called on him. Hillis is the one that was on the receiving end. They'll play it to McCloskey down the left side. McCloskey with a nice play. Top of the box opportunity. Buzakovic trying to do something with it, plays it back. Morgan tied up with a defender, plays it back. Left side, ball loose. They're going to call a goal kick. There's a near chance there for Puig. Gets snuffed out by solid defense.
Yeah, great defense there by Johnny Novak to commit to this play. Watch him come down and
great play.
Yeah, able to shut down Puig. Otherwise, he's got a chance from the same angle that Hakeem scored on. That was, by the way, the 76th goal of the year for the Oldies.
As part of a program record. They had tied the record coming in with 72, and they've scored 4 here this weekend. Is that foul called on Galma?
No doubt about it, too.
Yes.
He climbs the back of the
absolutely
offensive player.
So, yeah, 76 now goals for St. Olaf this season.
By the way, we were talking about only 8 goals in the NCAA tournament for Amherst. With that goal by Ohadike, he's the first player on Amherst to score multiple goals so far there in this run through the NCAAs. So, coming up big in these early moments of his career.
By the way, for St. Olaf, with the goal scored By the way, Liam Vance coming in. They have had 5 different players with game-winning goals this postseason. And with the goal scored by Morgan, I actually have to double check. I can't remember if he scored earlier this postseason or not.
Hakeem Morgan, that's now his 2nd goal of the tournament. He did have 1 goal earlier. That came in the Chicago game. He had the game winner.
Was it the game winner?
Yep.
Obviously, it's not a game-winning situation here. It's tied 1-1. But still something to keep an eye on. They have had a different score win the game for them in all 5 games leading into this.
Yeah, in that Chicago game, Galma, who's got the ball right now, had the game-tying goal in the 62nd minute, and then Morgan scored in the 88th to win it.
Foul in the corner is going to go against the Olis. The right call. I understand the frustration there from Galma. He's like, well, he's grabbing my jersey. Well, but you're grabbing his. So it just depends on which way the official feels it was more egregious. Yeah, McCloskey got the game winner, obviously, against Washington College with his 2 goals in that game. Of course, for Amherst, as you mentioned, they've not given up all that many in this postseason. You go back into the NESCAC tournament, they've given up a total of 5 now, period. And that foul is going to be on Morgan. They gave up 1 to Conn College on November 4th. Gave up the 1 to SUNY Poly in the first round of the tournament. And gave up the 2 to W&L on Friday. And now given up 1 to St. Olaf. So pretty amazing stretch there. And if you dial it back, the last time they gave up multiple goals was the loss to Conn College, 3-2, other than the W&L game.
From McCloskey, the assist on the Morgan goal, that puts him into double figures on the year. He's got 10 assists.
Long distance shot trying to make Forsyth look into the sun. Smart idea there from Kalinowskis, the Aussie. But Forsyth up to the task. The pressure from the Mammoth stays there. They've got Kubetu now all the way up at the point as Okogeye is now on the left side. Great job by the freshman there. They're going to call it on him, though. I thought it was a nice job. There was some frustration from Hillis, but the official believes that there was a foul preceding him getting a foot on it.
They're going to make them restart this one.
Yeah, they were trying to start it from from a lot of different places other than where the foul took place.
Of course, Amherst is the 4th nationally ranked team that the Olis have played during this run. They are trying.
9th overall, too.
But they're trying to become the westernmost program to win an NCAA Division III men's soccer title since Trinity, when they beat Trinity out of Texas, beat Drew back in 2003, a game that was actually played in New Jersey.
Drew. One of those. Yeah.
I was on the call for that championship, so I remember that game.
Should point out, by the way, this is the 50th anniversary of Division III. Really all the divisions, but especially Division III. First championship handed out in Division III men's soccer happening in 1974. It was Brockport, the winners of that title. This will be championship number 49 in men's soccer, thanks to missing a year due to COVID. It is championship number 82 in Division III to be handed out here in Salem, Virginia. And it'll be championship number 102 overall in the NCAA handed out here 101 handed out here in Salem, Virginia, as they handed out their 100th trophy yesterday in women's soccer. The most by any state, and if you're wondering, it's mostly Division II and Division III for those championships. And until they decided to redo the softball field and tear it all down, last year was the first year they didn't host softball here in forever.
Down in Texas East Texas Baptist.
They've done 20. They had 27 softball championships. Football, there's 25. They will welcome back the Stag Bowl here in a few weeks' time to honor its 50th anniversary. It's a nice turnaround there.
Good non-call there.
Yeah, there was a lot of just body contact with some falling.
Puig trying to sell that one.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Referee did not bite.
Nice job there by Galma to hold on to it despite many purple shirts. Murphy rolled him over, though, and stepped on his ankle. Murphy wants him to get up, but That was a little aggressive from Murphy.
Well, Gama, the Frenchman, the first-team All-American, looks like he's okay.
Nice to see him get up, so maybe the foul wasn't as egregious as I thought it was. He baited me, Ira. He got me.
4 first or second team all-region players on this St. Olaf squad.
And that'll be a foul on Gama, who ran into O'Hadike, and his argument is, well, if you're going to call me on that, then why didn't you call Murphy on the other? Murphy's saying he dove. I could see the hand signals. I'll admit, Murphy ran through him. Whether the official thought it was a foul is a different conversation. But Murphy absolutely went over him. It doesn't really matter because the official has the last word. So.
I think it was another good non-call. I know we've been saying that a lot throughout this tournament, but I think the officials have done a nice job of the refereeing and letting these guys play if it's not egregious.
All the way to the other side. Oh, okay. Okorogeye can't bring that one down, and he hits the deck. Oh, great sportsmanship here. He's got a bit of a cramp, and Beckman is helping stretch him. How about that? And now Okorogeye say thank you and help me up. Listen, wonderful moment. Seriously, these guys are battling it out there, and Beckman trying to at least do a solid to an opponent.
And we're not talking about a game in mid-September.
No, this isn't an early season game.
You're playing for a national championship.
Yeah, I love that. That is perfect.
Only in Division III.
I'm not going to say that's an exclusive thing, but I'm definitely glad it's happening in this game.
I'm sorry. I don't think you're seeing a Crimson Tide player help anybody from Georgia up yesterday.
I wasn't. I was thinking just football. I was talking about soccer. Oh, whoa! Just missed it. Wow. Vance was ready to break through on that one. You know what? It's fascinating how more aggressive Buzakovic is in today's game. I'm not sure what's going on in the middle of the field right now.
A lot of ball tackle there by Murphy, but
McCloskey from distance, too high. And now Clark Eden takes a seat. By the way, we should point out Okorogeye is still in the game. It looked for a moment like he was walking off. There you see McCloskey in the rec specs. Give him the Cyclops look. And of course, had 2 brilliant goals in the Friday game. One, a gorgeous curler from the corner of the 18, and the other open in the middle of the field when the defense broke down on the extra pass, and he drilled it home. Help get St. Olaf into this championship. 2 of the 3 goals they scored in that one, and the 3-1 victories. That's misplayed by Galma, out of bounds. 1-1 here in the second half of the Division III Men's Soccer Championship. The sun fully on now. The wind as well. Olaf's having to look into it defensively. Long throw coming in. Headed out by Galma. Chased down by Vance. Cut off by Sung, but goes out of bounds. Will be a goal kick as both teams trying to position themselves for the final 16 of this one. If we're tied, we will play 2 10-minute overtime periods, the full length of those periods. There is no sudden goal. We mentioned earlier Ignacio Cubetu for Amherst goes down the history books as the last one to win a golden goal, or a game by golden goal, doing so a few years ago.
See his name on Jeopardy someday soon?
Maybe. Coming over to take it is Sung, the Newton, Massachusetts native. Interesting note for Amherst, we should have mentioned in the first half, they have not had anyone start and play every single game this season. They have had 24 different lineups, starters I should say, real lineups. That will be a corner kick.
And Declan Sung with the shot that forced it, so.
Interesting, just saw a water bottle thrown into Kalinauskas from the bench. And now he tosses it back out of bounds. So I think the increase in temperature and sun, as the temps are in the mid-60s, might be taking a little toll on everybody.
6th corner kick opportunity for the Mammoths.
This one is a line drive in the box, trying to bounce around, plays it back outside. And McCloskey gets in the way of the second offering by O'Hadike. Of course, Ohadike's got the goal for the Mammoths. He's playing for Mohamed Nuhu, who is out for the game, and we say that because I'm watching Nuhu on the sideline limping around. There's just doesn't look like any chance he's coming back in. They're also playing without Sean Rapal. This one lifted in the box, and look at Forsyth climb the ladder there and pull that one down.
Too. That's the most impressive part. There was
hey, at 10K right on top.
3 or 4 purple shirts right around him.
Lawrence 10K was standing right there, and he climbed right over him to get the ball. Great job by the keeper. In the meantime, Vance comes down the left side. Cutoff has to go back into the middle. Now he's running out of options. He'll play it back to Hillis. Hillis has his pass taken away by 10K. Hakeem Morgan trying to catch up to it. They play it to the outside to Okorogeye. He's now trying to do battle with the guy who just helped him with his cramps, and he loses that battle to Beckman.
Yeah, great job by Ben Beckman. Just a sophomore on this experienced back line. So not only is he a good sport, he's a darn good player.
And Puig draws the call there as he got sandwiched by 2 Mammoths. I'm starting to notice Amherst a little less aggressive. Their pace is a little bit back. They're starting to slow down a little bit. They've hit that point likely where they hit against WNL, where they were so aggressive. They don't have a lead where they can take advantage of it now. Things have slowed down for the Mammoths a bit.
I don't feel as if they're tired, though. I don't think they had played as a frantic pace as they did against the Generals.
Maybe.
So they played a little bit more reserved here. As aggressive as they are throughout the game, they didn't leave it all out there in the first 20, 30 minutes.
Morgan and Tenkate exchanging words as Tenkate has put an elbow into the back of Morgan on a couple occasions in the box. This one served in. Tenkate hits the deck with no contact. It bounces around, and getting a foot to it was Sung. But there is a Ole's player down in the box. I'm not sure who is that. Is that Oberholzer? And now a foul called on Morgan.
Looks like Casper Olseth is down.
Now we'll get a stoppage of play here due to the injury. Mammoths are angry. Tenkate wants to know why it can't be stopped. This was getting stopped anyway. Tenkate is losing his mind. He thought because of Morgan walking over the ball, he should get a yellow. But let's be honest, this was coming to a close anyway.
It's Victor Galma, by the way, who's
Galma down. Let's see if we can see it again. That's McCloskey. There's Galma. Oh, he lands awkwardly on his hip and lower back. That makes that hurts me standing up here. So hopefully he's going to be okay. The training leaders are looking at him with 11:58 left to go here, second half. Amherst and St. Olaf tied 1-1 in the Division III Men's Soccer Championships here at Kerr Stadium on the campus of Roanoke College in Salem, Virginia, part of the Roanoke Valley. I'm Dave McHugh, Ira Thor alongside. And this has been a heck of a battle between these two programs. Everyone leaving it right out there on the line. There you see Puig is sitting in the middle of the field, and it looks like it's going to be a Salem staff person coming out to tend to him as the training staff is looking at Galma. So cramps here for Puig, and he's being tended to by a neutral party.
Listen, Coach Serpone said to me before the game, if you can deal with our pressure, you have a chance. The Olies have done a pretty good job throughout dealing with the Amherst pressure, but at what cost? And you're seeing, that collateral damage now with 2 of their key guys, one dealing with cramps, one playing so hard that, his back might not allow him to continue.
He's up to his feet at least and walking off, as you can see there. So good news for Galma there, the
3-time All-American.
Brest, France. A quick note. We talk about the Gusties in MIAC history. St. Olaf has officially tied them for the most NCAA wins in MIAC history, coming in 13 wins. They're 13-8-1 in their history in NCAA tournament play.
Of course, the Olies trying to win their first championship in a sport that has a ball.
Yep, their only other one. Women's volleyball got to the semifinals back in '96, but cross country has won a national championship. championship.
No balls in cross country. That would certainly make it more exciting.
Amherst restarts things as we're back underway, under 12 to play here in the national championship. Tied at 1 apiece.
I think I just invented a new sport, David.
Now, slow down.
See if you could dribble for 5
Ohadike doesn't like the call, but he gets called for handling the ball. So we will restart things here for the Olies. So both teams, by the way, playing their 9th top 25 team of the season. If that's correct. Maybe Amherst is at 8. My late night notes in front of me don't look right. But they're only their 2nd in the NCAA. They're, of course, 1-0. This is the 4th in the NCAA tournament for St. Olaf.
What's interesting for the NESCAC, obviously, but prior to the turn of the century, their teams did not participate in the NCAA tournament. So what the NESCAC has done, not just Amherst, but Tufts and Connecticut College in the last decade, particularly the last 8 years, is so special. NESCAC teams have won 6 of the last 8 championships. Amherst looking to make it 7 out of 9. Messiah dominated this tournament for years until 2014. So we're talking about almost 10 years now where it's been one conference, 4 different teams taking over this tournament.
I was right. It is Amherst's 9th top 25. They're 7-1 in those, while St. Olaf is 4-3-1. Of course, starting the season 1-3, they were 0-3 against those top 25 foes. Yeah, it was actually a little earlier than the turn of the century. They started playing somewhere in the 90s in the NCAA tournament. And technically, if you ask those who in the know up in NESCAC land,
mid-90s,
it is still an experiment with the teams in the postseason. I kid you not, because that's what it was when it was approved. It was going to be an experiment. They have never changed the language on that. 10 minutes to play here in the national championship game regulation. Quick note, football still not in the national championship as the sport. Everybody else, and have had a lot of success in everything else, still do. Men's and women's lacrosse, men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, plenty of other sports. They are pretty darn good.
Well, 2000 was the first year of the NESCAC tournament. Of course, they did participate in the NCAA's beginning in the 90s. Williams was the first team to win a national championship back in 1995. Of course, the East were last year's runners-up to University of Chicago. Middlebury won a 2007 championship. Interesting note, Middlebury in 2007 and Tufts in 2019, the only NESCAC teams to win both the NESCAC title and the NCAA title. So Amherst, if they could find a way to pull this out, would be the 3rd.
St. Olaf, of course, looking for their first, and Mayak first. That one's a quick play upfield. It is cut off by Olseth. 9 minutes to play in regulation. We're tied at 1 apiece between the Mammoths and the Olies. And that is deflected out to the near side by Buzakovic, who has had a huge role in today's game. Big win there from Ohadike. He's into the box, room to work, shot over the crossbar. He found the smallest of windows between defenders, and he ripped it, and Forsyth wasn't going to catch up to it.
Take a look at this again as he comes inside the box, gets too much space to dribble. Oh, and Forsyth and company lucky that one was struck high. Ohadike is from West Orange, New Jersey, plays at St. Peter's Prep. It's a school probably more known for its football than its soccer. Very good prep program in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Ohadike plays it down to the right side again. He'll cross it, long cross there, way over the top of Okor Geye. Again, Ohadike playing because Mohamed Nuhu went down late in the first half. It didn't look like that bad an injury, honestly. But he clearly was badly injured because he has been out since, and he has been on the sideline limping. In the meantime, his teammate, Sean Rapal, went out at the 15-minute mark and has been out since. I see him now at least standing on the sideline, but he was laying down not that long ago with his feet in the air as that ball is headed out of danger. Murphy will head it to the outside to Sung. Sung looking for a shot, cannot take it from deep as it's blocked by Buzakovic. Out of bounds for another Amherst throw in here. 7:15 to play in the national championship, and we're still stuck 1-1.
I said this felt like a 2-1 game. If we're not going to go to overtime, That'll probably be your final result.
Sung with a heave. It's headed out by Morgan. Not out of danger, though. Clark Eden. Shot! Forsyth just gets a hand on it after seeing it at the last second. And it goes out of bounds for the goal kick. I don't think Forsyth saw that until it was literally on top of him and he just reacted to it.
No, you're completely right. He got screened by 2 of his own white shirts. Watch this again as it splits 2 players. Yeah.
Wow.
Right on top of him was the All-American Galma, who ended up almost screening out his own goalkeeper. Forsyth, what a heads-up play.
6:30 to go here.
Those are sometimes the most dangerous chances. Really the 2 things you can't control as a goalkeeper, deflections and getting screened like that.
Oberholzer plays it to Morgan, who gets hit from behind but continues on. Bechtel cross, far post, no one home.
Shows you how good Forsyth is.
His brother was there, but a little too far away.
No, it shows you how good Forsyth is. You know, he's somebody who's kind of underrated.
Yep.
Doesn't get the all-region honors that, 4 of his teammates have gotten, but he's just nothing but consistent.
Forsyth, should he pick up the win today, would tie for 4th overall in goalie wins in St. Olaf history. We should also point out St. Olaf has tied the most wins in program history coming into today with 19. Forsyth, a junior, is likely going to rewrite a few record books for the Olies. I expect he will come back next year, the Minneapolis native.
As will Shane Bechtel, who's one of the top scorers in school history, 3rd all-time. And
a lot of weapons coming back.
He's only a junior.
Well, he will miss Goma. Well, unless he's got a COVID year we don't know about. First 3-time All-American in program history. As Sung tries to go through the Olies and cannot.
We heard that contact.
Yeah, we play it up to Bechtel. Bechtel will play it back to Bechtel. Bechtel will play it up to Bechtel. Bechtel will now play it up to McCloskey. And he is fouled at midfield.
Tripped up there by 10, Kate.
That's the other thing. Bechtel will be back next year, and you got to figure that Ryan may move into the starting role possibly. He's listed as defender, but plays more of a midfield role. Played to Galma. Nice to see he is playing well despite that back injury. Plays it back. This one developing. Buzakovic playing up. Oh, good idea, but Clark Eden timed that brilliantly.
Yeah, Clark Eden has been obviously the force back there as one of their center backs all season. He actually missed the NESCAC final as he was dealing with injuries. He's missed some time this season.
Oh, it just goes to the point that he literally played 24 different people in the starting lineup.
Now, Coach Justin Serpone was talking about, just giving so much credit to James Street, who hasn't seen a ton of time this year. Street came in and started in that spot with Clark Eden out of the lineup.
But even Max Landa hasn't played every game this season. Juan Perez started the first 3 games of the season, and he and Landa split time in the opening 5. Or not the opening 5, opening 4, and then a game later in the season.
Yeah, but for Street to come into that spot in the championship game.
Everybody has come up big. I mean, it goes back to the point. Luka Ohadike comes into this game and has had a huge moment. It's the guys who have had to come into roles that weren't necessarily the game plan. Big foul there. And I think that one backfired on Galma. Galma went in to get aggressive offensively. Is that Galma? He went in to make an aggressive play and ended up hitting the deck. It is Galma.
And it's going to be an Amherst possession.
They're going to talk to the alternate official about whatever. And guess who is getting ready to re-enter this game? You got a 50-50 chance at this, sir. And this is going to go against Amherst. Serpone can't believe it. For the first time since early in the game, I see Sean Rapal ready to re-enter.
He's 6'8".
Yeah, but he's got the sub jersey next in his hand. He is in the box. He's not at center yet, but he is getting ready to possibly enter. In the meantime, Nuhu's definitely out. He's now sitting. I feel horrible for Nuhu. I admittedly thought maybe he was trying to just get a call. I didn't really, he clearly got really hurt in that play. It's going to go out of bounds, I think, off of Novak.
If you're Amherst, regardless of what happens today.
Novak tried a trick one there. He tried to pick it up and throw it out, but that clearly had gone off of his hands, or off of his feet. And so Oberholzer finally gets the call he wants, you were saying.
If you're Amherst, you're obviously going to lose Okorogeye unless he's got
again the COVID year.
We don't know.
Right, we're in the last year of that COVID possible year.
Your two strikers up top are both freshmen.
Yeah.
In Nuhu and Ohadike.
Oh, Forsyth's out of the box. He was out of the box. He was out of the box by a foot and a half. Both feet were out and so was the ball. Everyone missed it. You just don't see it every day. Forsyth has to go retreat to get that one. Missed opportunity there. I just don't think anybody anticipated. Forsyth lost complete awareness of where he was in the box.
Maybe some nerves settling in right now with under 2 minutes to play now.
2 minutes left.
And our producer and director both have confirmed on video that
check it out. Check it out. That's where his feet is. Look where the ball is too. There's no way he's catching that to the outside of the box with his feet already outside the box if the ball's not outside the box. So a missed call. That would have been a direct kick outside the box.
He's got a little wry smile.
Oh, he knows he got away with it. Oberholzer plays it into the middle of the field to Bezakovic. He's got room to work. That has not been a theme at all this game. Plays it up to Bechtel. Bechtel with a quick touch up ahead. Trying to run on is McCloskey being Clark Eden with a tremendous defensive play to earn the goal kick. As we approach, Ira, the final 60 seconds of regulation, it is 1-1 unless someone can pull out a miracle here. We're staring down at extra time for Amherst the second time in a row. St. Olaf has not played, I think, an overtime game the entire postseason. So that would be a first for them. They did play against Gustavus in the championship game of the conference to a tie. Nice cutoff there by Oberholzer, but cannot keep it out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for the Mammoths here with 30 seconds to go. They are rushing up. Olies are putting everyone in the box. Landa is not coming up, mainly because I don't think he physically would make a difference, so they're keeping him back. And so a chance here, 15 on the clock. Line drive into the box, headed back. It's going to be out for another corner. But the clock is going to run out as we do have an Amherst player down on the far side, but the official is not going to blow it dead. Quickly played in and cleared out. We're headed to overtime in the Division III men's soccer championship game. Amherst and St. Olaf knotted at 1 apiece. What a game, Ira.
How else would you want this championship to be decided? Hopefully
not
be decided.
Yeah, I want it in the next 20 minutes.
20 minutes, exactly.
We want to see it done in the next 20 minutes. We'll take a break, get ready for the overtime periods, give you a chance to catch your breath and maybe get a drink as well. Join us back here on NCAA.com. It's Amherst and St. Olaf tied at 1 after regulation. We'll see you shortly for overtime. Gorgeous day here in the Roanoke Valley, and it is a little bit warmer than I think Amherst and St. Olaf expected, so they are in recovery mode as they get ready for the first of two overtimes in this Division III men's soccer championship from Roanoke College in Kerr Stadium. I'm Dave McHugh, Ira Thor alongside Amherst and St. Olaf, knotted at 0-0 at halftime, knotted at 1-1 after the second 45. Let's take a look at how we got to this score, and it started with a freshman off the bench for Amherst. It was Luka Ohadike playing for the injured Mohamed Nuhu who scores the opener for the Mammoths just a few minutes into the second half, and they had a 1-0 lead. And St. Olaf was back on their back foot, but they were able to find some magic. McCloskey involved once again, a quick shot from Morgan through the hands of Landa. Back post goal, check it out again. That knotted at one apiece. Both teams have had chances since then, Ira, but it's going to need that little bit of magic there from either one of these teams if they're going to win this in overtime.
Yeah, and it's a tough game to figure out what's going to happen in this overtime period. It looks like Olaf right now is the team of the two here that is pushing more forward, trying to create opportunities. Amherst is more battle-tested than you're going to see most teams in this situations. So they're not nerved by this moment. I mean, look at who they got through in the NESCAC final, or in a tournament in Connecticut College and Tufts. So both those were one-goal games, high-pressure games. They've played a lot of pressure games through this tournament. 1-0 with Stevens, 1-0 with Occidental, 1-0 against Middlebury in the quarterfinals. Obviously, their second overtime game of this tournament. So who's going to win this, Dave? Anybody's guess. I think Amherst is the more battle-tested team in this moment. But how much can this St. Olaf pressure force Amherst to maybe make some mistakes?
Amherst has 14 shots, 4 of them on goal. 8 of those shots have come from those off the bench, 5 additional from Kalinauskis on defense. St. Olaf's got 11 shots, 4 of them on goal, all of them coming from their starters, with Galma and Buzakovic the leaders in those shots, as you see Coach Justin Serpone for Amherst there. Corner kicks, it is 8 for Amherst, 3 for the Olies. 2 yellow cards for the Mammoths, none for the Olies. 18 fouls for the Mammoths, 11 for the Olies. 3 saves for both teams. As we're underway, and we switch directions. The Olies now with the sun and wind at their back. They have not had to deal with the sun. Landa now dealing with the sun for the first time today, as it was cloud covered in the first half. We've been watching Landa because he's a bit banged up. We were warned that Juan Perez may have been coming in at halftime. He did not, but Landa has stopped taking the goal kicks. He's a little bit more subdued. We'll see if that has any impact on this whatsoever. There's a couple other injuries for the Mammoths, as Sean Rapal has not been in since the 15-minute mark. It looked like he was going to re-enter late that half. He did not. And Mohamed Nuhu, who went down with an injury late in the second half, is not returning. And that is what developed into the lone goal Amherst has so far in their freshman from Luka Ohadike in just his 12th game of the season. Mammoths are in the purple uniforms, going right to left in this period.
A little bit of a lazy pass there,
yeah,
Dave.
I'm wondering if Amherst is starting to slow just a bit as Bechtel gets around Kalinauskis. Bechtel with the extra pass to McCloskey. McCloskey shot! Goal! Ollie's find the back of the net first. Remember, not sudden goal here, but St. Olaf has got a huge lead in overtime. What an extra pass.
Unselfish play. Well, let's watch this develop again. Bechtel, the all-time leader in assists, and McCloskey, who is making a strong case to be the most outstanding player of this tournament, finishing off that extra pass.
McCloskey now with 3 goals in the weekend.
And 4 in the NCAAs.
1 assist and 1 extra helper. And fortunately, the bad news here is Clark Eden is down for Amherst. But there's McCloskey, who now has 8 goals on the season. And he's got 3 this weekend. The second team all-region and MIAC all-conference selection. Is once again the man wearing the cape
the guy
for these
who
Oli
was
squad.
In the shadows of Galma and Bechtel and Hakeem Morgan has been the one who's come through this entire championship. And Amherst
Obviously, their top defender down right now, down by a goal. Plenty of time still. I mean,
Sean Rapal.
We're a minute 8 into this overtime.
I don't know if I think Sean Rapal is trying to get into this game, and Serpone keeps pushing him back to the bench. In the meantime, they've got subs ready to come in, including Riley Pridey, who we have not seen today. He also has Kubetu sitting out there. In the meantime, they continue to look at Clark Eden. And St. Olaf right now, with the lead on 2 goals in a row, the first in overtime here. Remember, 10-minute overtime, so we've scored this 71 seconds into the period. McCloskey with a brilliant timing, too, because Bechtel feeds him the pass, and he is just on sides, Ira, and he brilliantly goes to the opposite corner. Landa, I mean, just has to hope he can get to that.
And Bechtel did a great job of waiting just to the right moment where Clark Eden had just slightly committed towards the middle and saw that vision open up and was able to slide on the ball. And, you know, Shane Bechtel picks up yet another assist.
Hate to see this, by the way. Clark Eden really needing help to get off the field here.
And that would be the 3rd injury, the second key one of the game.
His training staffs are helping. They want him to go off the near side just so they can get back into play here. But yes, Sean Rapal leaving in the 15th minute under his own decision. He literally walked to the official and told him he needed to leave the game. You had Mohamed Nuhu going down on what looked like an innocuous contact in the middle of the field late in the second half, and now Clark Eden has gone down.
And that's going to put the pressure on number 12, just a true freshman here, in Riley Priddy out of Garrison, New York. He's into the game at center back. Well, actually, they're going to slide him.
I was going to say, they're slide to the outside. Yeah, they're going to. Kalinowskis is in the middle. They may even go with 3 here because they got to overcommit. They got 10K kind of at the point of that middle.
Yeah, and they're going to have to morph into that 3-5-2 that the Olies play, down by a goal here with 18 minutes to try to find an equalizer.
Granted, yeah, as you said, 18 minutes, because we'll play both overtime periods. Again, just because I love the note, Kubetu is the last one to win a golden goal. He is not on the field right now. He's still on the bench, but we probably will see him shortly. So we will play out the entire overtime periods here, and the pressure will now be on the Olies to maintain the lead for the first time today. This one is dangerous. Well played by Kalinowskis to play that back to Landa on a header with McCloskey in his hip pocket.
A note for Shane Bechtel, that's his 36th career assist, extending his own all-time program record, his 94th career point. He is just behind the all-time record of 96. He's going to destroy that next year.
Should also point out for St. Olaf, they have now got 2 assists today. That moves them into sole place in program history, 62 total assists. Getting past the 99 team. This one passed in front, shot over the crossbar. Amherst had the tie on the laces on the extra pass from Okorogeye. He had them. Hayden Ruffner had the tie there.
He is in disbelief. A little touch, all he needed, hit it high, and you see
for a guy who drilled an amazing shot in the semis, keeping it low. This was the one time he needed to keep it low, and he let it high.
Yeah, he's still in disbelief that he missed that.
He had a wide open net.
What a pass from Okorogeye. Yeah, he hasn't gotten involved offensively in terms of production through this NCAA tournament, but you can't ask for a better feed.
Amherst just told everybody, by the way, this ain't over. This is not over by a long shot. They've got a chance. Murphy with it, pass to the near side to Okorogeye. He's going to try and go to the light side. Look at that. Forsyth off his line snuffs that one out. He has seen way too many crosses and has had enough.
And if you're an Amherst fan, this is a great sign that Okorogeye has woken up. He's been basically silent.
I'd say about
maybe
two-thirds.
Except for the last, I'd say 2/3 of this game is a fair statement.
Interesting.
He's your 3rd-team All-American. You're only All-American. Somebody has to take leadership. Why not him?
St. Olaf has everybody in the box, all but one inside the 6. Amherst is not countering with that. They've got 2 guys sitting well outside the box, and Landa all the way back. Cross comes in, headed towards the post. Forsyth has to play it just in case, as 10K got ahead on that one.
So quick off his line is Forsyth.
Forsyth not playing with a hat now. He was playing with a hat in the last half. Look at this punt. He is breaking for. Oh, too far for Bechtel. He just punted that all the way to the far corner on 2 bounces. The wind may have helped. Listen, it was wind aided. I don't think it would have counted as a record in track and field. As we get some subs coming in, and now we get a change in keeper. Landa is out, and he's limping off the field. Juan Perez, the North Bergen, New Jersey sophomore, will make his first appearance since October 24th. He's coming out with some energy. Landa will leave the game. In the meantime, Oberholzer is leaving the game for the Olis. So, again, big change here, and I wonder if that's also maybe to allow them to get Perez up into an offensive set position if they need it.
One other note, back in the game is Ignacio Cubetu. He's replacing Wyatt McCarthy, who's banged up himself.
Cubetu playing it with the head right there.
So both these teams came into the weekend largely healthy, but not anymore.
No. The hero for Amherst and Ohadike draws the call there. And now we'll get a stoppage for some reason. It'll be a card. I'm not sure who it's going to. It's going. Oh, he's still found whoever it is. I think it's going to be Hakeem Morgan.
Nah, it looks like they're charging it to number 13, Aiden Hillis.
I didn't think he was in the play. I didn't think Hillis was that far up in the play. He and Hillis and Hadike now having a conversation. I guess they did give it to Hillis.
Take a look again.
I apologize. No? Oh, that is Hill. Oh, yeah, he was very late.
Right at the ankles, too.
Yep. Good card there, but this is a dangerous free kick opportunity here for Cubetu. He is about 30-plus yards out, lifts it into the box. Forsyth, what a job bringing that down as he tangles with Kalinowskis.
Not only to grab it, but to take the bump.
I think the Olis want a card here, but I think this is just a fair play by both guys. They got their arms tangled because Kalinowskis came in with his hands up. That's just, listen, it's a hard foul, and it's a right foul. It's not a card. But hats off to Forsyth to hold on to that one. And first touch of the game for Perez, who, again, got in for 45 minutes back on October 24th in a game that was out of hand against Colby 5-2. He started the opening 3 games of the season, played 45 minutes against Yeshiva in a 5-1 win, played a full 90 against Middlebury in a 1-1 tie, played 45 minutes in a start against Manhattanville, but has not been seen since October 24th. But Landa is banged up. I don't think they want to take the risk. They brought Perez in, and again, I think it's also to bring Perez up. They get the extra attacker if they can on set pieces. In the meantime, Olis coming the other direction. Galma with a head of steam against Murphy, but Murphy with a tremendous defensive effort. Galma frustrated trying to come back on Murphy.
Now, how quickly can Amherst counter here? A lot of white shirts getting back.
Yeah, they've done a nice job getting back, haven't they?
Goes,
and Murphy missed pass.
I was going to say, and it goes back.
And now we're going to get a card here on Galma for the previous infractions where he got a little bit chippy in his frustration with Murphy.
But it goes back to what Coach Oliver says. A key to their success this year has been being able to not allow teams to connect multiple passes. And when they do, they're not bang-bang plays, so that gives their defense enough time to get back and help. And that's what you saw there. Yes, Amherst was able to string together some passes, Dave, but they weren't quick passes, and everybody was able to recover.
Galma picks up his 8th card, which, unless he's coming back for a COVID year, means nothing. He's not going to sit for any reason. In the meantime, Puig is back into the game for the Olis. He replaces Morgan. We have 3:09 left to go in the first overtime period. We still have a 10-minute period where they'll switch directions to play. Amherst, though, showing they've got a little bit of spark back in them. This game is far from over. Get a chance here to get a lull to thank everyone here at the City of Salem and the Old Dominion Athletic Conference for their help. Led by Kerry Harvey Cutter, Brad Bankston in the ODAC office, along with J.J. Nekoloff and everybody they've put together, including from Washington Lee, on the work they've done behind the scenes, statistics, everything. It has been a tremendous championship on both the men's and women's sides, and they will gear up for the Stag Bowl in a couple weeks' time.
And they help make it such a great championship experience for these student athletes.
Absolutely. Long distance from Kubetu will miss the near post, but trying to track it down was okay, Gaye, and it will go out of bounds. But listen, this is championship number 101 in the NCAA for this duo. Not duo necessarily, for the city of Salem. The duo has done it now 82 times. This is the 82nd championship in Division III. And they just can improve upon it and improve upon it and improve upon it. And you know, the student athletes are priority number one. Everyone else is priority number two, and that's not a knock on our priority. We still get an amazing experience as everyone who works the games and in the media. So I just want to take a moment while we had it to congratulate them. That should be a handball not called. That's going to be a trip not called. In the meantime, Ole's looking for goal number 2, and it's going to be out of bounds for a goal kick that will be called.
We should note that Declan Sung and Sean Rapal have both checked back in coming out of the game, where number 19, Micah Bush, and number 3, Lau Tenkate, both out of the contest for the moment.
Under 80 seconds to go in the overtime period. Again, Juan Perez, if you're just joining us, coming in about midway through the overtime period after the Oles had gotten the lead 2-1. He is in for Max Landa, who we were told at halftime was a bit banged up and thought Perez may enter. They stuck with Landa. Landa's not the reason the goal scored by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they want the flexibility of having an extra body up top if they need to bring him all the way upfield, as unable to get through the massive mammoths was Puig there. And Perez is also 6'1", though Landa stands about the tall, but he's going to have better legs.
Great job, by the way, defending for number 12, Riley Pretty, who's in a tough situation here for the experienced Clark Eden.
Of course, Rapal back out there.
He was able to shut that play down.
I almost wonder if Rapal had what Kubetu had and just hasn't, because he was laying on his back at one point. Just wondering, not feeling well. So he's trying to do whatever he can. Rapal, a senior. Ole's with a chance.
And a good recovery there for Murphy after the mistake by Pretty.
And I like that that's not a whistle. As we're going to run out of time here. Ole's in no hurry to get a corner kick off. We will bring the first overtime period to a close, and the Ole's used 70 seconds of time to grasp the lead from the Mammoths at 2-1. You're looking at the hero right now, McCloskey, with his third goal of the weekend, his first of the game. St. Olaf's got the 2-1 lead here after the first overtime period. 10 more minutes to play in the 2023 soccer season coming up when we come back. Welcome back on an absolutely gorgeous afternoon on the sun-bathed mountains of the Blue Ridge here at Kerr Stadium in Salem, Virginia, on the campus of Roanoke College. It's sun's out. It's a bit breezy, but this is a destination for outdoorsies, and it's a destination for those who love NCAA championships. And we've got 10 minutes left in the entirety of the 2023 Division III soccer season. I'm Dave McHugh, Ira Thor alongside. So far, the man who's wearing the cape for St. Olaf this weekend and today is that guy right there. It is this senior midfielder, Casey McCloskey, out of Denver, Colorado. He's got the game-winning goal should the result hold right now after 2 goals on the semifinals. And Ira, this is a big 10 minutes. Mammoths have a little bit of momentum.
Sun's out, guns out, and McCloskey has been that gun for them throughout this Final Four, NCAA semifinal and final weekend. Now it's about defending for St. Olaf. Yes, if you can get another goal and give yourself a little bit of a breather, you're going to take it if you can, but now it's surviving this mammoth pressure, pun intended.
Forsyth has donned the hat once again in goal. If you're wondering and tuning in, going, that's not Forsyth. He doesn't wear 36. He does. This weekend, he is wearing 36. In the meantime, Mammoths have been taking some injuries. They lost Sean Rapal 15 minutes into the game, but he has shown back up, the San Jose Californian here in the second half. Muhammad Nuhu from Ghana went down late in the first half due to injury. His replacement, Luka Ohadike, is the reason the Mammoths had a lead in this game. He scored minutes into the second half. They are going to need to find another here, as the Olis have scored 2 straight. Amherst has allowed WNL on Friday and St. Olaf here on Sunday to score 2 straight. In the WNL game, it tied it at 2-2. In this one, they are now down 2-1, and their time on the season is running out. So St. Olaf will kick this in. A little gamesmanship from Buzakovic, who they will stop the clock. And Buzakovic, who had flung the ball up with a little backspin to set it up, got 10 yards free on that one. And David Elliott on top of that says, no, back it up. That is not where the foul took place. So he'll back it up to the second Owen Maroons here on the field that hosts men's and women's soccer and lacrosse for Roanoke, as McCloskey flicks that on. It'll still in bounds. The St. Olaf fans want a foul called, and David Elliott is not abiding by what fans want. So again, there's Sean Rapal and his massive frame. But he is back in, but Nuhu is not. And again, Juan Perez is the goalie for Amherst. Wow, we're starting to get into some chippiness.
He's taking exception to the fact that the Olis went down so easily there, thinking that there was a bit of a dive. That's what his exception was.
Considering how much contact he has initiated today, that's interesting for him.
Perhaps, but I would agree with him this time.
And this one kicked all the way down. Perez will play it to the outside. Now you wonder, how soon do the Mammoths start overcommitting resources to try and find the equalizer and force PKs. Of course, they went to PKs last time they were in a championship game 2 years ago against Connecticut College. Unfortunately, losing that 4-1. They would love to get back to PKs here today with a chance for a national title. They went to PKs on Friday against WNL in one of the wonkiest PK shootouts I've ever seen. WNL missed all 4 of their shots, Landa making one brilliant save and a post on another, and 2 crossbars for WNL. Okay, Okorogeye with the ball on the far side. He'll play it to the top. Kobedu! Blocked out front by Olseth, who has played a masterful game today as well. Out of bounds, back to Amherst. Coming over to take the throw is Sung out of Newton, Mass. Under 7 minutes to play in the season. Sung's heave goes up a little bit. Top of the box. It's in trouble. Bouncing around. Mammoth wanted a handball. We'll have to see it back. I didn't see it. In the meantime, Oberholzer is streaking down the left side. He is off to the races. He has gone box to box, looking for the cross. The extra pass. McCloskey shot just missed. McCloskey nearly iced the game right there.
Well, that's the danger when you're committing so many resources to tying this one up.
And a yellow card was just given to Tenkate, who has been screaming at the official since he first entered the game.
Yeah, McCloskey just misses that far post, but this is an unfamiliar situation for Williams. They have not played from behind since October 7th when they fell down 1-0 against Wesleyan. Wesleyan scored in the 75th minute of that game, and it took a goal, ironically, by Lawrence Tenkate with 21 seconds remaining to tie that 1-1.
10K picks up his 7th yellow on the season. Not that it means much in the title game. Again, not sure if there was a call there or not. I'll admit I just didn't see it. It could have been there. We had a couple of calls today that have been missed, including Forseth, who was a step and a half out of the box. McCloskey can't hold on to it. Kalinauskas forces it off McCloskey, so it'll be a throw-in for Amherst. In the meantime, Morgan has gone down, and this will stop the clock with 5:29 to play. Everybody leaving it out on the field for sure.
I should note that Amherst has come from behind twice this year to win games. They actually were trailing Yeshiva in the season opener 1-0 before coming back to win that one easily.
Oko Ageye is out of the game right now for the Mammoths, and he is holding his right hamstring.
They also trailed Tufts.
Another injury for this Amherst squad. Go ahead.
They also trailed Tufts 1-0 back in mid-September. Came back to win that one 3-1. So they do have a little history this year coming from behind, but they have so many guys out of the lineup right now. I just don't know if they have the personnel.
Puig back in. They have got Murphy on the left side now with Rapal. They got 10Kate all the way up into the offensive look, and on the near side is Ohadike. They're going to Ollie's are going to send Bechtel, is what I'm trying to say, into the corner. Did he win the ball back? He did not. They say it went off of his cleat. St. Olaf fans don't like it, but
look how long we went in this game before saying St. Ole's.
Yeah. Into the corner. Nicely played there by Galma, just to waste some clock as we're under 5 minutes to play in the national championship and in the season. St. Olaf looking for its first national title in men's soccer. Try and knock off Amherst, who is in their 4th title game since 2015 and have only got 1 title to speak for. Nice header there from Beckman, who has played a great game today. Bechtel can't bring that down. Kalinauskas will play it to the outside. We should point out they are playing Mammoths without Clark Eden as well right now. Brought down the left-hand side, cut back. That is the hero from the first game, Hayden Ruffner. He had the great, brilliant first goal, but he missed a wide-open chance in the first overtime period and draws. Wait, he's going to call for the foul there. Under 4 minutes to play in the title game. He had a wide-open net, Ira, that would have knotted this one, and he sailed it 10 feet into the air. McCloskey plays it to the outside to Puig. Puig will play it upfield. Tracking back for it is Novak. Novak with McCloskey in his shorts. It goes out of bounds. Amherst with the throw, and now they'll change it and they'll say it was actually a throw-in for St. Olaf. They'll stop the clock here after that throw-in, and they'll also have a sub. Since it's under 5 minutes to play with the lead, you're going to stop it anyway, and Nelson comes in. We haven't seen him much today. Of course, he had the 3rd goal on Friday. Correction, that is Sean Elster that came into the game, the Plainfield, Illinois midfielder. I heard Nelson's name. There he is. I see Nelson up on the front now.
Nelson's got 2 goals in the NCAA tournament.
.312 remaining. Sung to throw it in. They have not brought Perez up. Maybe the reason was Landa was just that hurt. St. Olaf is just finding ways to stymie Amherst, but that'll be an offsides called on Nelson, the Iowa City Iowan. 2:45 to play in the season. Amherst looking for an answer. Kubetu with the free kick as we approach 2.5. Trying to lift this with the wind at his back into the box. He does that. Forseth had come out, retreats. It's headed out. Kubetu with a lift in. Forsyth got caught in no man's land, gets a hand on it. Should be a corner.
Yeah, he had over.
Oh, they call it? Yes, they will call it a corner.
Got
There
it
was some
right.
confusion there.
He had overcommitted, and then he had to stick out a pole. Watch this. You're going to see the ball poked back in. He starts going back, then he has to come forward to poke it wide.
I'm sure his heart was in his throat. Under 2 minutes to play. Corner kick. Big chance here for Amherst. Their 9th of the game. Make it 10th. Back post goes over the crossbar.
Now they can take their time.
I was going to say
this ball.
That might be the last chance Amherst gets unless they can get a steal back here. St. Olaf closing in on their first ever soccer championship
And you see,
after having not gotten out of the round of 16 in program history.
You see the gamesmanship here.
Yep.
It's Galma coming out to take the kick.
Galma's kick goes out of bounds, though, and so Amherst with the quick throw. That is Novak down the sideline trying to hold on to it is Sung. Sung in the corner goes out of bounds for another throw in here with just over a minute left. It's going to be a long toss. Amherst trying to pull off a miracle. Perez coming all the way up now. Under a minute to play in the national championship. Headed out initially. Long distance shot, bouncing around. It still goes, and Forsyth picks it up. That might do it. Forsyth quickly to his feet, looking to get the ball back in play. He'll punt it upfield, and it'll go well upfield. They'll have to play it back to Perez. 30 seconds remaining. Perez's kick goes to the far side. It's hauled down by Murphy. Goes out of bounds. 24 seconds to play. Ball with it. Trying to make a turn. 15 seconds. Plays it back to Murphy. They're running out of time here. 12 seconds. Long service in. Forsyth nearly overran it. And that is going to do it. Time has run out.
3, 2, 1,
The national championship in Division III men's soccer is headed to Minnesota. St. Olaf wins their first ever national title, knocking off Amherst 2-1 in overtime.
There's the man of the hour.
If he's not the most valuable or most outstanding player of this tournament, I don't know who is. And heartbreak for the Mammoths, who for the third time in 4 tries in the last 8 years have come up short. They won back in 2015 against another Western or Midwest school in Loris, but they can't pull it off this time, losing in overtime. 2-1 after having the 1-0 lead.
For the third year in a row, we have a first-time champion in NCAA Division III. It was Conn College 2 years ago. It was Chicago last year. And now we have our furthest west champion since Trinity 20 years ago in 2003 when Trinity, Texas won. The championship is going to the MIAC for the first time ever.
Walnut and bronze is in the hands of the Olies, who come back against Amherst, scoring 5 goals this weekend, en route to a national championship, a program that finally broke through. And Justin Oliver can talk about it now. Back-to-back first-time head coaches in their first year march themselves to a national title.
Yeah, last year it was Chicago with a first-year head coach, and Justin Oliver has given so much credit to Coach Wall, who was his mentor.
It was his design.
Yes, Travis Wall was the one who built this program. Again, the Olies were 9-10 in 2019. 9-10, not a bad season, about a 500 team, but had not taken that turn towards being a championship contender. Then COVID happened, shut everything down, and ever since COVID, they went 19-3-1, went to the Sweet 16 in 2021, 15-5-2, went to the Sweet 16 last year, and now they win their 20th game of the year, 23-3,
54 wins, just 11 losses over the last 3 seasons, and for the first time ever, the championship is going to Minnesota.
54-11-6. They were 25-2-3 in the MIAC. They win their program record 20th win of the season. They now have a MIAC record, 13 wins in the NCAA in their program's history. And they do what Gustavus could not do against Messiah. They win a national title in their first trip here. Quick note, coming up, we will show you the trophy presentations for both teams. As you see Justin Oliver celebrating there. Quick thank you once again to Kerry Harvey Cutter, J.J. Nekoloff, Brad Bankston from the City of Salem and the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, and everybody here who helped us out this weekend, including the sports information directors for all 4 institutions, and including our hardworking crew behind the scenes who put this all together. Ira, last thoughts before we sign off.
Frustrating for Amherst, of course. Their second trip here in the last 3 years. You got to feel for the senior class that has worked so hard to put themselves in these championship situations and just can't come home with a trophy. For St. Olaf, though, obviously a feel-good story. A program that was never a factor in Division III soccer has now climbed to the top of the mountain.
For Ira Thor, I am Dave McHugh. Once again, your 2023 Division III men's soccer champions, the Olies of St. Olaf, climb the mountain and win their first program title. Congratulations. It's headed to Minnesota. The 82nd Division III championship here in Salem, the 101st overall. What a thrilling way to win the Walnut and Bronze. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a great weekend of soccer. Congratulations to St. Olaf. Congratulations to Cal Lutheran on the women's side for their first national title as well. Enjoy the trophy presentation coming up here on NCAA.com.
Fans, your attention please. It is our pleasure to begin the award ceremony for the 2023 NCAA Division III Men's Soccer Championship. First, let's congratulate both teams on their outstanding achievements and thank our host, the city of Salem, Olaf and Amherst Conference and Roanoke College for their partnership, commitment, and success in hosting this national championship. Presenting our award today is J. Margolis, the Division III Men's Soccer Championship Committee Chairperson. We'll start with the 2023 NCAA Division III Men's Soccer All-Tournament Team. Will the following members that are in presence here today please come forward and we'll take a photo after all of the names have been announced. At defense from Washington College, number 6, Chris Comer. At midfield from Washington College, number 10, Harrison Malone. At midfield from Washington Lee, number 10, Grant McCarty. At defense from Washington Lee, number 12, Willie Hall. At midfield from Amherst, number 7, Niall Murphy. At midfield from Amherst, number 14, Ryan McCarthy. At forward from Amherst, number 28, Flynn Hayden Ruffner. At defense from Amherst, number 33, Simon Wojciechowski. From St. Olaf, number 8, Victor Kalma. At forward from St. Olaf, number 9, Hakeem Morgan. The 2023 All-Tournament Defensive MVP from St. Olaf, number 36, Peter Forsyth. And the 2023 All-Tournament Offensive MVP from St. Olaf, number 10, Casey McCloskey. Will all members of the All-Tournament team please come to the center of the field for a photo. And now, the runner-up team in this year's NCAA Division III Men's Soccer Championship, finishing with a record of 17-3-4, the Amherst College Mammoths. With the following individuals, please come forward to receive your award. Number 1, Max Landa. Number 2, Ben King. Number 3, Lawrence Tenkate. Number 5, Ignis Sylvanus. Number 6, James Street. Number 7, Niall Murphy. Number 8, Andrew Tremonti. Number 9, Declan Sung. Number 10, Ignacio Cupetu. Number 11, Johnny Novak. Number 12, Riley Pretty. Number 14, Ryan McCarthy. Number 17, Sean Paul. Number 19, Mika Valdez Bush. Number 20, Ioannis Hagianis. Number 21, Mohamed Milu. Number 22, Ben Clark Eden. Number 23, Aguirre. Number 25, Carter Gagnon. Number 27, Luca Ohanike. Number 28, Finn Hayden Ruffner. Number 32, Juan Torres. Number 33, Simon Kalinowskis. Number 81, Ryan Gomez. Number 0, Lucas Searle. Number Number 4, Daniel Arizmendi. Number 13, Lucas Liu. Number 15, Adrian Trott. Assistant coach, Alex Ortega. Assistant coach, Derek Shea. Assistant coach, Jeff Huffman. Head coach, Justin Servone. Athletic trainer, Kathy Jankowski. Facility athletic rep, Leah Schmalzberg. Faculty athletic rep, Chris Durr. Faculty athletic rep, Greg Donato. Athletic director, Dawn Faustick. Assistant director of athletic communications, Brad Chastnut. Your head coach, Justin Servone, and the team captains, please come forward to accept your team trophy. Congratulations to Amherst College on a fantastic season. Let's give all of these outstanding student athletes, coaches, and staff a round of applause. And now, the 2023 NCAA Division III Men's Soccer National Champions, finishing with a record of 23-3, the St. Olaf College Orleans. Presenting the awards is Dave Marcolos, D3 Men's Soccer Championship Committee Chairperson. With the following individuals, please come forward to receive your awards. Number 1, Austin Williams. Number 2, Jordan Oberholzer. Number 4, Ian Elliott. Number 7, Clemente Akuch Puig. Number 8, Victor Colma. Number 9, Hakeem Morgan. Number 10, Casey McCloskey. Number 11, Dimitri Nair. Number 12, Karsten Siegel. Number 13, Aiden Willis. Number 14, Abdirazak Wale. Number 15, Ian Hazeltine. Number 16, Sean Elster. Number 17, Shay Bechtel. Number 20, Joe Dice. Number 23, Robbie Buzakovich. Number 24, Casper Olsen. Number 25, Liam Vance. Number 27, Ben Brody. Number 28, Michael Nelson. Number 30, Ryan Bechtel. Number 34, Ben Beckman. Number 35, Jack Hopday. Number 36, Pierre Forseth. Number 3, Leo Dixon. Number 5, Alex Yu. Number 6, Zach Harvey Latham. Number 19, Ethan Kilmer. Number 22, Jonah Dean. Number 26, Trey Bosworth. Number 32, Alex Segay. Head coach, Justin Oliver. Assistant coach, Matthew Gibbons. Athletic trainer, Tyler Keith. Administrator, Kelly Malum. Administrator, Michael Abdella. Administrator, Anna Robb. Manager, Alex Felix. Manager, Johanna Wasaba. And now, will head coach Justin Oliver and the team captains please come forward to accept your championship trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, your national champions, the St. Olaf Olives. On behalf of the NCAA, our host institutions, the City of Salem, the Oakland Athletic Conference, and Roanoke College, we thank you for your attendance at the 2023 Division III Men's Soccer Championship. Remember, Las Vegas events will host next year's NCAA Division III Championship in Las Vegas, Nevada. Until then, congratulations to our champions, the Aries. Have a safe trip home, and we'll see you next year in Las Vegas.